of Liberia. As you may be aware, what is happening in Lofa County, where soldiers from the Guinean side have crossed over to Liberia, is causing serious security concern in that part of the Mana River Union region. Even though some days ago, our president went to Conakry along with the Sierra Leone president. They met with their counterpart, Mamadi Domoyan, on matters of concern regarding the insecurity between the two countries. And so, irrespective of that, the Guinean soldiers are still on the Liberian side. They are still claiming portion of the Liberian territory. And so this is claiming the attention of many other citizens of Liberia, including former fighters who fought for liberation in this country. And so yesterday was Joshua Blai, CKA General Bodneke. He addressed the press yesterday in Monrovia. And so this afternoon, we are pleased to be with General Young Blogbe and his likes. They will be speaking individually on what they think the government can do at this time about what is happening in Foya District, Lofa County, where it has been reported that Guinean soldiers have crossed to the side of Liberia, claiming that portion of our country that it belongs to them. And so very shortly we'll be turning over to them. You can please share the link of our page so that we can have a lot of our citizens, both home and abroad, following this afternoon. Again, my name is Rele Guambe. I'm from Voice of Gompa. I will now turn over to General Yung Bogbe and his men. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Voice of Gompa right here in Gompa City, Nima County. It's our pleasure to be with you, General.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Really Gombe. Good afternoon, Really Gompa. Okay, thank you very much for your concern to get to us.
Just for the benefit of the public, you want to properly introduce yourself?
Okay. Anyway, I'm General Blogbe Young from Nima County, Buyao Administrative District, District 5, Nima County.
Okay. And next, the next person.
This is Aze Weya. This is Aze Weya, the deputy to the general.
Okay. And then next.
JQ, the chief of operations for Young.
Chief of Operations. Okay, so it's our pleasure to be here this afternoon, like I said. And so, the General, welcome. What is your concern this afternoon that you want to let the public know?
Thank you very much. What I want to say to the citizens of Liberia, they shouldn't feel punished. They shouldn't think that the president is taking side. The president not taking side. The president want to take in law. The Guineans do not mind that no men in Liberia. Liberia got men. Liberia got soldiers. We have U.S. Army in America. We got AFL and in Liberia. And the U.S. Army, they got U.S. Marine. We in Liberia, with the freedom fighter, the ex-combatant, we are just a Marine. We only waiting for order. And what simply I will tell the Guinean government, they should withdraw. They should withdraw their men. They should withdraw their men who came in Liberia with a single barrel. A single barrel. Who took weapon upon weapon. They shouldn't feel that thing what they get at that weapon for us. It's very easy to take it from them. They should withdraw immediately. I'm saying I mean it. They don't withdraw. The country war between country and country, what he looking for, that he don't want to feed it. We know the guerrilla warfare. Those people are over there, they are not been fighting before. We the old mat. They are just cutting mat. They are just cutting this bundle of bamboo to come plant mat. We been flying mat. We know the location. We know the institute of Guinea. We know if they want to be on Liberia side for us to be on our side, let them simply tell us that your count side, Solar Biso. It's very clear. I'm telling them they should withdraw. They should withdraw. They should withdraw against 2 weeks, 1 week for them to withdraw. Give them 1 week for them to withdraw.
So in what capacity you are speaking?
I'm speaking because this land is for Liberia. They got our piece of land in the history. This got our piece of land. They cannot walk into our land and deploy men there. Crossing the water, even I blame the Lofian. Why they allow for men to sit in kingdom and come in Liberia, they standing in front of them. Why they can't bypass them and go call out Damila kingdom to go down? They allow for the people to get in the kingdom and go by the kingdom.
So you wanted for the Lofians to do what?
I want for the Lofian to feel relaxed.
No, what you wanted for them to have done at the time the Guinean soldiers were crossing over?
Yeah, at the time they came, they are so to lead them on the side here and bypass them go break down that kingdom. Or they push it and go down. Even someone standing or they say on the tree, they say that snapper. That monkey or on the tree, so that monkey. Someone is standing, you on the tree looking one place. You know what will come from behind you? They shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be afraid that any other person.
So General Youngblood, you said that you are giving an ultimatum 1 week to the Guinean soldiers to withdraw. I was asking you in what capacity you are speaking, because you hold no position right now. You are not in authority.
No matter, don't think I'm not on payroll. The time we're fighting along with Taylor, we are not on payroll. So we fight for freedom, to free our people. You know, our father Taylor say, fire reply fire. What fire come from that? There where fire go air. So they shouldn't feel that our president in Liberia, he forgot about us. President forgot about us. We are willing to do any other thing that will free our citizens in Liberia. Where someone go against us, next country go against us, we are willing.
So if the Guinean soldiers don't withdraw, because they are here on a mandate from their leaders in Guinea, so if they don't withdraw, what will you do?
More especially that our leader are talking to. That the presidency are talking to. That thing where you get it, you see that weapon, that weapon for us. That weapon for us. For the men in Liberia.
There are people who are saying that Liberia is not prepared. Liberia does not have the ability. We don't even have the army, the number of human beings to fight a Guinean army.
Really? Do you think that we are not got the ability? We fought with single barrier, we capture arms, upon weapon, missile and all, we capture it. My strength, other people know it. My strength, they know it. I don't drive by, but what going on is law. We are waiting for order. If they violate, maybe certain things will happen, they will withdraw. It's clear. I'm telling them.
So, General Blobwe, what have you to say about the government's response to the situation currently in Foya, the way the Guinean soldiers are on our side, and the government is still diplomatically approaching the issue? What have you to say about that?
No, it's very clear because the government do not want to go wrong. He is a law embargo citizen. The government is the president is a law embargo citizen. So he laying complaint when there's no, even are inviting the UNs, the ECOWAS to look into it. If they fail anything happen, ECOWAS shouldn't blame us.
You think at this time ECOWAS should come in, or is it still early?
It's still soon. ECOWAS can come in, but when they come in at 1 week, I tell the president. The president is talking about the men about what they just do a time rope. When they call it snake, they snake that rope.
Okay. So you are giving 1 week ultimatum to the Guinean soldiers to withdraw.
Exactly.
If they don't withdraw, what will you do?
They don't withdraw.
Because you are not the president of Liberia to do anything. You are not army general. You are former rebel leader. You know, you fought the war.
They don't withdraw. Law will take undicos.
Okay.
I don't get the power, but law will take it undicos.
So how is it concerning you? People may ask.
Yeah, it's concerning me because they are our citizens. From Loma man, you call a skin now, the blood will come from inside. You call Gilman skin, you call Monoman skin, you call Kramer skin, the same blood. So we're concerned about even why may you call a skin the same blood. So we should be concerned about citizens in Liberia. No matter they from Lofa, they are Liberians.
If this thing was happening in Nimba County, on the Guinea, from the Guinea, in fact, the Nimba side of the border, what will you do?
Really go for they will not even happen. They are coming happy. Maybe we'll share boundary to do them, or even. Really, I don't think so. I don't think they get a strength. If they get a strength, yeah, then right here to the border with let it come. We'll know. We know
Some
how.
people are saying the general is old now, you don't have the strength to go and fight.
Okay, let it come catch
There
us.
are some people who are following.
Let it come run behind a score in it and catch it. Where it was. There is no old score. You can still run. I get a voice of men, and I get a power, and I get a strength to fire any kind of capacity.
During the Liberian Civil War, there were some people who were fighting, only looting around here. How did you really fight this war?
I will not deny it because they got bad to bad soldier where surveillance can take colors and hanging on them and say the fighting. But to me, all people testify. I'm a guru. I did Gora warfare.
Okay. Did you fight along with former President Taylor or the late Senator Prince Johnson?
I fought with Senator Johnson, but later in Nima, the time they called Beato, that there where I left. Okay. But we can't play, even I play on base all through I was there. But later we came direct to Beato, I left. I went back. Even after I went, I was in jail. They put me in jail because I was Senator Johnson. They put me in jail in Butua. The very day Taylor enter. But later I was self-free.
So who jail you?
That was the MPF, the Special Forces, because they say I was Senator Johnson. So how can I locate where you are at? We follow into Zegbe, but nevertheless, that one pass. We are talking about the present time, what going on in our country.
Okay. So finally, before we speak with your men, what have you to tell the public?
I will tell the public that they shouldn't feel punished. There will be no gunfire, no more in Liberia again. Hey, you want to fire gun? Then where you left your country to fire gun? You come in our country, you fire gun. Then where fire come from? Fire go air. Fire reply fire. So everybody should be free. They shouldn't be punished. They shouldn't be scared. We have nothing to do with our life for the citizen of Liberia. We fear nothing. I myself will say I fear nothing to die. I don't scare. I don't scare any other thing. I don't scare the death. I only want to save my citizen. Yeah, I die on the front. I have God say I'll die for my citizen. Finish. I'm General Young Gbagbe, Red Eagle Follow from Booyah Administrative District, Nima County.
Thank you, sir. So can we speak with the next person? Yeah, come closer to us, please.
This Aze we are the deputy for Red Eagle.
Okay. What have you to add onto what your commander said?
Yeah.
Or your boss?
What I have to add on my commander is what are going on in Lofa. We are not pleased with it because the Guinean, our places they have there, no way for us to get it. Then they continue to suppress us. In suppression, only the government will look in. Okay. Our father gone, Peter gone, Prince John not living, but we are here. The men that have been trained to protect the country, we still living. So the government should not get fear to say the people they get power or they get this. Anything we say standing by, only asking the government any problem that will occur over there, we standing by will be informed.
You're standing by to do what?
We're standing by to protect our country.
Okay. But the government has state security, police, army.
Yes, so the police and the army, they are there. But still, we have been trained from day one. We're still living. We don't want for the Guinean to say the people did not get plenty soldiers, the soldiers are little, and we overcome them. But we are here. We, the citizens of Liberia, we here. And we've been trained before. We've been fighting war from 1990 up to this time. No country can oversee us. We are looking at it. No country can oversee us. And when it happens, let our president acquaint us, let the president get all involved with this thing.
Okay. So there are some people who are making comment that you guys want for attention to come here so you can benefit from out of it.
No, we not want no tension to come in the both sides.
Okay.
We only want for the both sides to be in peace, But we cannot sit for next country to overrun us, and we will not accept it. We're not looking for material. Some of us will pay horses, some of us will get property in Liberia. We're not asking for war, but we cannot sit down for next country to just overrun us. This is why we're asking the president if at all on the way we are still around, they should acquaint us.
Your name again, please.
This is Azewoya, General Azewoya from Buya, Butu.
Asewoya, right there, he's the deputy to General Youngblobe, and the operational person is here. Your name again, please.
First time I told you, J. Kawea.
Okay.
J. Kawea.
So you listen to
the operation to you.
Okay. What have you to add on to what your two men have said?
All right. Thank you very much, Willie. This country, we just from war, and we don't want war. But what happened? You can't slam my ear, then sit down. Slam my ear, pay there, before. But then, people were saying that we want for war to come so that we will benefit. We're not looking for no benefit. They're saying more at all, but they're saying more. We're not looking for benefit. We want our country to be free. People that are living across Guinea there, whether they are Pere, whether they are Gisi, that they don't want to put it in danger. They should be the one to make the peace on that side before any other thing. Because anything happen that they say not near that area, that they will feel the weight. So I don't got much to say. We are not looking for anything from the people. We have to defend our country. To take lawful instruction from our present government. That's all.
General Blobe, you want to conclude?
Yeah, thank you very much, really. You know, I'm sorry other people want to go around and say the people they want for war to come for them to do this, that.
Yeah.
We trying to protect our citizens in Liberia.
Our land.
Our land. There's no God not creating new land. God not creating new land. If I get even young get born a baby today, die, say I stay young or born, that's another good war. Maybe that last child that God gave you, know. So God not creating new land. People want to tell the citizens of Liberia they should get regard for us. They will say we are playing to get something in out of people. Some of all, then we are criminal, we are unraw. Because we get asset, we get grower, we fed to do any other thing. But when we sat down, we remain mute, not to embarrass our people. Even you go to my home, I got liar plantation, I got house in Monrovia, I got living area in Ban. I move peacefully in Liberia because I don't embarrass anybody. I move peacefully. But I only simply want to tell our citizens they shouldn't feel punished. Nothing will happen. That people just joking. We are all mad. They are joking. They will not fire one round in Liberia. All I know, they should withdraw. 1 week, they should withdraw. That is my ending point there.
Okay.
This is the cornerstone. We have arrived. Imagine the distant cover. Yeah.
Mr. Reese. Yes, sir. Funny.
I think it's in French.
Yeah. Why?
The cornerstone.
So,
Some of you.
Soup. Why listen here? This is the cornerstone. And how they are interpreting the cornerstone, let me tell you, folks. That's what the entire Wahala here. A minute ago, you read the flat water. They said that when you see the cornerstone ready, that this side they are taking. They're not taking this side.
Because the French people.
They say that this side they are taking. One day cornerstone is going, so there they when a plantation that all the area are for Guinea. So this side They all corner hitting another corner swing to the flower. From that flower, another corner swing again going to Bongedu and Bayaro. So in terms of Kotizu here, another corner swing are hitting on the other corners too. But they are on a definition here. Say one day corner swing here, they are calculating this. But if you take this time here, they corner swing going as far to secondary. But why they put it right in here now? They are telling me that they cannot soon, they got another corner swing to go on the line. If this one they cannot soon, they say why they get over there that they are land. So nobody can take it from there.
So the corner stool is there? The one you're talking about on this side?
So that area farm,
But another corner soon.
another corner swing on this side, yeah.
Okay.
So we have seen spot
in the bush,
area some years that they've been doing farming.
So,
Is it like
well,
Brian
let me
have
get
been
the farm,
farming
but
there?
They all sport, the sport now we that they make farm from Liberia for making a farm.
What do you mean?
That they make, yeah.
Okay.
I made it fine. Yeah.
Have you been disturbed before since you've been making farm here? This is the first time?
When I was making the farm first,
Mm-hmm.
the same man that put the to Shaka,
Mm-hmm.
he have this farm across here.
Who is Shaka?
He from Winjaro there. He have this farm.
It's a Guinea?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I breastfeed the farm, he came here one time. He said, "Oh, they arranged that nobody more make farm to the borough. Why I'm making a farm to the borough?" You getting me? I told him, say, there is a Liberia or the Guinea. He may say that Liberia. I said, but just forget about me. Just find where you go. So we stopped right there.
Which year was that?
Year 2005.
Wow, that's a long year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those corners been here for a long time.
We were baby father.
Okay.
We are not talking about father. Great father met day 1 year.
And the time Guinea got the independence.
Yeah.
Before the independence, Bafem Sherry is my name. I work with the clan chief of Sebamaka and Kwadugoni district.
Okay.
This is the first cornerstone, and this is not the first conflict between Mojaro and Liberia. This is about third time. At that time, the superintendent of Guinea came here. The superintendent of Liberia came here. Lofa County came here.
Okay.
The cornerstone hit, the first one is in the valley. Okay? But according to my understanding that day when we were there, the both superintendent deemed it necessary to come with the team from Guinea to come and verify and know how the cornerstone was planted. They came and saw it, like my commissioner was saying. He said the cornerstone can go so. Our president, the clan chief, for now he was also there. They themselves told us that the cornerstone can't go so. It had to go so. According to the demarcation, this is not the first time for these people to cause trouble here. Another Kamara man from Liberia, which is Bimwegbe Kamara family, they have their land spot here. Okay. From there, in that valley, one teacher from Kotizu came and made farm in the mainland. So they stopped in that made farm. That was the source of the conflict at that year. So when they came there, the superintendent, the authority from Guinea at that time, told them that those that are making farm here, when you're finished, you tell the people land over to them. This man can test me to that, make can bear that witness. We all were
You
here.
remember the year?
It was 2017.
Okay.
2017.
Okay. The first conflict you're talking about?
That's the first. No, the first conflict was 2009.
2009.
2009.
The second one was?
The second one 2017.
Okay.
We said for the same Mojaro guys ran behind the youth of Konadu in the bush.
Okay.
The Guineans came ran behind these people in the bush. Our Liberian boys. At the time they were building their mosques. That contract, the new contract that I've been doing, they run behind the people that they catch someone that they beat them in the bush.
Because of what?
Because of this same land business here. That the people are jumping to go Guinea side.
In the bush.
So after that, the resolution was that day everybody should make farm and stop to where the land, the boundary demarcated. Nobody should jump away. Everybody should remain there. We're not talking about swamp. We're not talking about that. Once the cornerstone are planted, you see they writing here, they French writing. The other one are on that other Sunday there, they're right here, but they rooted it out. They take it out. Okay. They sing Guineans, they take it out. The information are on this thing, they see information over there, but they took it out, so people cannot understand it. So this is the third time for these people to be hitting us in this way right here.
But this is the first time to build mid structure in that place and
This
hold
is
their
the first time again for structure to be built over there.
When it happened?
I think it happened this last month.
March 9.
March 9.
I know.
Yeah.
So the first investigation, who were those that
Honorable Kangba, is simply telling us that they are claiming land. Like my commissioner was saying, they are claiming land. They are claiming ownership of this land because of the size of the cornerstone that they are directed to that area there.
So what does this mean if the people take this place?
No, it will affect us as Liberians because we saw this, we saw our forefather, both Liberian and Guinea working here. We found no conflict. Why today conflict should be to exist among us? Why?
So the town superintendent Kangba came. Which year was that, you said?
I think it was 2019.
2019 superintendent Kangba came. And the issue was laid to rest at the time.
Everything was laid to rest. Both superintendents have the meeting where at the Liberian vote went to the checkpoint here, where the whole superintendent came. They sat among us, told us that we investigated the report from the fee, told us that the Liberians should work to their side, Guineans should work to their side. Nobody should hit the boundary.
So what is the name again, sir?
Bafem Sherry is my
learn that we should take courage. There is no fighting at now. In case of anything, he will come and let us and inform us about it. If we got to leave, then we will leave. But for now, there is no fighting. We should take courage. We should encourage our people. They should come back.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. Big Sam to BKS TV, and welcome to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we see dialogue and not confrontation. We see words and not bullets. The Heat Hour program comes to airway every Monday through Sunday, beginning at 8 o'clock p.m. Liberia time till 10 o'clock p.m. Liberia time. It's a 2-hour informative dialogue conversation here on BKS TV. And of course, we discuss issues ranging from politics, health, education, and a lot more on the show. And today is the 23rd day of March, AD 2026. And we'd like to say welcome to all of you. Those of you listening to us via radio, want to say good evening and welcome. And those of you too also following us on Facebook, like Kelvin, Kopi, Mario Croman, Aloysius, Alexander Tente Jr. I want to say welcome to all of you and welcome to the March 23rd edition of the Heat Hour program. Today is Monday from where I sit, and today is the first day, generally the first working day of the week, as we all know. And in tonight's edition of the show, we'll be discussing a couple of issues here. But again, let's try to bring you some updates across Liberia. I want to say credit to the Gunpack Communications Network. Today, they had an interview. They had an interview with former Liberian Warlord Young Blogbe and others, and they issue 1-week ultimatum to the Guinean soldiers to leave Liberian territory. What this means to the Liberian people? A lot of guerrilla fighters, as they call themselves, a lot of warlords who participated in the civil war in Liberia have decided to chip-chap in this entire Guinea and Liberia border dispute. And the panelists will join us here tonight on the show. They say that we are seeing another trend in this issue. And what step can the government take so that issue can be resolved? Now it's almost a week since the president went to Guinea, and Guinea president issued a communication calling for their soldiers to fall back to their territory, and yet them still reports coming from the Sonoma port of entry, including today's report, still indicate that the Guinea armed forces are still stationed on the Liberian territory. Abraham G. Nyazi is watching us. Vic Evelyn from Ganta City, Nima County. Abraham, welcome. Moses Epe is also watching us from Bone County, Banga City. Moses, welcome to the show. The appearance of Liberia's Solicitor General Councilor Augustine Feya before the Supreme Court of Liberia on behalf of the Mustafa Raji camp in the ongoing leadership dispute at the Liberia Football Association has sparked concern about possible international sanction against Liberia. Football World Governing Body FIFA maintains strict rules prohibiting government interference in the affairs of members' association under the statute. Any involvement by state actors in football governance, especially electoral processes, can be deemed third-party interference, a violation that has historically led to suspension. FIFA legal framework is explicit. Article 22, paragraph 2 of the FIFA Standard Electoral Code and Article 15, Section C of the FIFA Statutes prohibit government involvement of any kind in the electoral process or composition of members' association. These provisions emphasize the independence of football bodies from political or state influence. The controversy unfolded during arguments on a petition filed by Cassiel Anthony Cole, who is challenging the constitutionality of Article 58.1 of the LFA statutes. The clauses bars individuals with criminal conviction from contesting for leadership position within the association. Cole, who served 87 months in the United States following a 2017 wire fraud conviction, argues that the provision conflicts with Liberia 1986 Constitution, which restores civil rights upon completion of a sentence. His legal team contends that the Supreme Court, not FIFA, is the appropriate authority to determine the constitutionality of the LFA internal rules. However, the unexpected appearance of Solicitor General Fayyad in the matter draws sharp attention from the bench. Justices question the basis of his involvement in what is widely considered an internal football dispute. Tension escalated when Fayyad referred to Cole as a convicted criminal, prompting an immediate rebuke from the court and a directive to apologize, which he complied with. That is from the Liberia Football Association. We'll bring you more details on the show here tonight as we continue with tonight's edition of the program. Peterson G. Sawyer Jr. is watching us from Capital Bypass. Peter G. Sawyer Jr. is watching us from Capital Bypass. Peter, welcome to the show. Fumba Trey. Fumba, good evening and welcome to the show, my friend and brother. Emmanuel Zakakba Mambia is also watching us from Suban Play, Electoral District 4. Welcome. Let's bring you this one. Sam is already in the bag, and let's try to go to him very quickly. The Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority, LPRC for short, has successfully concluded a high-level mission to Washington, D.C., unlocking key pathways to technical support aimed at strengthening Liberia petroleum governance framework. The engagement held with global and U.S. institutions, including the International Monetary Fund, the U.S. Department of Commerce, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, focused on building capacity ahead of Liberia's 2026 direct negotiation listening round. At the IMF discussion, center on enhancing Liberia's petroleum fiscal regime with potential technical assistance in the hydrocarbon physical modeling and revenue management frameworks. Meanwhile, engagement with the U.S. Department of Commerce explores strengthening legal and regulatory system while boosting outreach to American investors. Talks with DFC highlights financing developments for petroleum infrastructure with plans to connect the corporation to the National Oil Company of Liberia to support future investment at the Department of Energy. Both sides advance cooperation on regulatory capacity, including petroleum data management and offshore safety standards. That's from the Liberia Petroleum Regulatory Authority too as well. Without further ado, let me bring on Mr. Badia here tonight. Good evening, Mr. Sam Cyrus Palia. How you doing this evening, Chief?
My dear young brother, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful from my end. How is your end? I missed you yesterday.
I know.
I am doing okay. You know, it's another day, Monday especially. Not much going on here from my end, but we are here to talk to our people. A lot unfolding in the Republic of One Nation. So we are here to dive into some of those things, the new developments in the Republic of Liberia. We want to say many thanks to our listeners and viewers across the globe. Nimba Kante, the land of ore, belongs to us.
Welcome to the show, Sam. A lot of things happening today in Liberia. We're going to be discussing two major issues. One of them now is becoming a regular discussion now for every media platform in Liberia, the Solomon Port of Entry thing. But every day, new development emerge and all of that. But first of all, let me take you backward to the what is happening now with the LFA in Liberia, the Liberia Football Association. They are expected to go for their election to elect their new squad of leaders. But then one of the contestants, Cassio Antonin Kwa, he was restricted from participating in the election because of his criminal history or his criminal record in the United States. He was in prison for 87 months for wire fraud. Wire fraud is like money laundering or something like that. So for wire fraud. Now, the FIFA rule says if you are convicted, you cannot participate in any other election. That means you can serve in any other leadership. So now Cassia is challenging that particular provision of the Constitution. He has taken a FIFA and LFA to court that the Liberian Constitution is clear and it prohibits anyone from restraining any other person from participating in any electoral process, even if you are convicted. Once you are free, you have served your sentences, you can participate in any other process, electoral process. Now, the Solicitor General, this is where the issue comes in, Sam. The Solicitor General of the country, one who is there to fight government cases. With all of the cases right now that his office is supposed to take care of, ranging from corruption-related matters to all the other government interest cases, he left it and went in an internal issue of an entity that is not regulated. I mean, that is not, let me say, regulated by the government. They got their own regulatory authority. And the Solicitor General is going to represent a client in that case. My question to you is, Sam, what is going on? You got the issue of Samuel Tuer and the others standing. The LACC have done investigations. Some of those investigations, the public has tried to question them. The Solicitor General and the Ministry of Justice, they're not going there. You got the arson case between former Speaker Kofa and other people. We don't know how far is that case, how evidences are being presented. But then the Solicitor General leaving his area of responsibility, going somewhere else to attach another burden to those previous burden that he have, that things are not even going right. One may say justice take time. So the Solicitor General got all other rights to go to other places to get client from there and all of that. But it strictly prohibits him, though. You work for the government and the government only. And I want to hear you, what's your take on this issue. 39 minutes past 10 o'clock 39 minutes past 4 o'clock in Fargo, where Sam is sitting currently. Sam, what say you on this issue?
So, Junior, let's look at this thing. According to, I haven't followed the news, but according to what you said, the young man in question took LFA and FA to court. Is that correct? Okay. But based on his criminal conviction in the United States, and he's saying that because he served his time and he went to Liberia, and so therefore he has all right to run for LFA presidency. Is that correct? So, Jen, let unpack this thing. I know you might have something to talk about it, Solicitor General, but in the first place, the LFA has its own framework, which is they have their own policy. FA has their own policy. The Constitution of Liberia is a guardian. So every rules and regulations or policies that's written to govern this organization, it is ascribed under the law of the Republic of Liberia. So if he has a criminal conviction based on the gravity he served sometimes, and so maybe LFA, no matter what it is, especially there are some crime when you are committed, it's difficult for you to serve certain position in the U.S., like a felony based on maybe, like you said, wire fraud. So it is difficult to do those things and think that you're going to serve in higher position. Junior, criminal is criminal. Sometimes it's difficult. Once you have the knowledge and the capacity to do people, no matter how you serve your time, you still have that knowledge, but you might be a change guy. Some people can change totally. But if LFA or FA policy dictates that when you have such a conviction, you don't need to serve on a higher position, I see no reason why he would take these folks to court. And I'm not sure if he's going to win the case. I'm not too across with LFA and FIFA rules, regulations, and policies that govern the organization or the agency. But while Liberia Solicitor General involved, Junior, any agency,
that's the question.
In an agency in the Republic of Liberia, your policy, your and a framework is under the Constitution of Liberia supervise most of these policies and agency framework. So if LFA is taken to court, I believe the LFA has communicated with the Solicitor General to help out.
No, the LFA too also have a rules that every other internal issue with them, the government or the state cannot participate in it.
So what I'm saying here,
just to make a clarity, is the LFA president that was taken to court, because he's the one that is also contesting for the president position, and another person contesting for the same position. So he is now like the enforcer of the law and also participating in the election. So he went to hire his personal lawyer, and the person he hired was the Solicitor General. Now, my only concern and question is, should the Solicitor General go into this issue with all the other things he got to handle?
No, General, it shouldn't be a problem if he has the time on hand. Now, while you're a lawyer, if you have, these things are done to make some money now. If you have all the time on hand, you can. There are some lawyers here who fight from court to court. You'll see some of them will leave from this court and go to another court, run another court to go to another court. It's all money-making thing. Once you are done and you graduated and you come to Liberia, you can have 10 cases on hand. You can have a bunch of clients and represent. So it shouldn't
for me personally, that one, it shouldn't be a problem. Once you have the time to represent the guy, he can represent the guy. Maybe he is one of the most qualified lawyers in Liberia, and according to maybe from what the guy, his client, believe, yes, you can hire him. I don't think he hired him because of being a government personnel, but I think he hired him to be a private something. So my only problem with this guy's junior criminal conviction, felony, especially in that level, it's tough. He might argue, oh, the conviction was it was done in the United States, but remember now, the law of the Republic of Liberia and the law of the United States, especially criminal procedure law, they are very similar in nature. So if you have committed a crime in America, does not mean that you can't be watched in Liberia. Taking such a higher position, they might not have confidence in you. So it's possible the law can also, LFA or 3-5 rule can prevent you from running for such a position.
Thank you, Sam. This is my take, though. I listened to the Cassiel guy, and I also follow their story. Now, criminal conviction, the law is on the book that if you have been convicted for certain criminal offense, you cannot serve in certain positions. Now, the FIFA law too is also there. They say if you are convicted, it means you cannot serve in any electoral position, any elected position.
Okay.
But the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, there where now the issue comes in. The 1986 Constitution of Liberia says every right of a person, every civil right of a person is restored upon release or upon serving their penalties. And one of Cassiel's civil right is right to participate in electoral process.
Yeah, I think Cassiel getting it wrong. So I think
so you see now,
I think getting it
Cassiel himself saying, nah, even though the provision of the LFA say I shouldn't contest because I'm convicted, even though it's true that I'm convicted, but here is what our Constitution too says. Our Constitution says if I'm convicted of any other criminal offense, once that criminal offense I have served my time and my time only, it means all of my rights that were seized from me before those rights have been restored upon me. And then Cassiel too now, you say, nah, we got to take this issue to court. The court is the only place that can properly, tell us where we are going wrong in this issue. Now you seen it?
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing when you follow the story. I've been following them for a couple of days now, and the FIFA provision is clear. Let's welcome to the show. See you having Seka Senior. Good evening, see you and welcome. How you doing this evening? I am thought not to be chatting.
Yeah, no, Sam already in trouble already with me. I called him man yesterday. He ain't called me about. Then I think that morning he sent me tell me last night. He sent me tell me the line. I mean a unique meeting, serious meeting. And then I'm coming back till I know what till 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's one counter. But yeah, it's good to be back on the show. I was following you guys and interesting topics. I know we got a lot of followers tonight who are following. A lot of happiness in Liberia as well. So I'll just join you and I don't want to jump the gun here and follow and give my contribution, make my contribution when my time is there.
Thank you, CEO. Now just to conclude, Cassiel say, oh, you guys, we are not serve my term, and the Constitution says once I serve my term, all my rights is bestowed upon me. And I know another argument that his lawyers will push is that the crime occurred in the USA. It didn't occur in Liberia, so the jurisdiction in the USA is different. What might constitute a crime in America might not constitute a crime in Liberia. Maybe they might have a point to push. I think my only issue is that the Solicitor General of the country, Sam, as government employee, these people work for the government and the government only. Lawyers, government lawyers, judges, which the Solicitor General is part of them, those that work in the judiciary, they are not supposed to participate in business activities. The classification of business activities is having extra clients on the side. Because at any point in time, the government will have a case. What are you going to do with the next case? As a private lawyer, you can balance yourself between the situation. You can move from one place to another. But as a government employed person, and not just an ordinary person, but the one representing the government in every other legal issue, and then you go to take on, I don't know why I should say, a petty case that does not even involve you, with all the hulu baloo going around in the country that you're supposed to be fighting right now. If you got a luxury of time, why is it that you're taking so much time to present all of the evidences and then push the judge to make a decision on some of those cases you got before him? The Samuel Tuah case still there. It's going to almost 2 years now. From one point to another, one point to another. The Arson case is there. They work in the Ministry of Justice. Sam, I think it is about time that we start speaking to this issue void of politics, and let's speak to the reality of it. I know you are giving facts that lawyers move from one place to another, but I'm looking at the position that the Solicitor General served in. It's almost like the Chief Justice of the country leaving from Liberia and going to preside over cases in South Africa when he got cases in Liberia to preside over. That's
so
the instant.
I'm not a lawyer. So the case, the Kaseko case, is it a state case that?
No, it's not a state case. It's
like own private thing he doing.
Yeah, a private thing he doing there. That's my
man
question.
got money, right?
Yeah, because he's representing Mustafa Raji. Raji got money. Raji got money. So it's not an issue about getting money. My only problem here is the conflict that you will be putting yourself in. As a state party, you can't go represent a other institution. And the FIFA rules is also clear. Government or a state cannot interfere into their domestic matter. Now, a state in this case is a Solicitor General. SG, if you got all the, I can't say me in on this. SG, if you got all the time, there are cases in the country, not just one, not just two. If you got all the time, push the LACC, let them bring you some of the fire they got before them. If you got all the time and you want people to answer the question so badly, move forward with a Samuel Tuah case. Let's get a verdict on it. If you got all the time, you are the Ministry of Justice. You and the minister, you work hands in hand. The minister go to get a case and can present it to you. You go represent. You're going to ask on case. You move with it very fast. All the other corruption-related cases in the country, you go after them. Why is it that you letting money to drive you? Let me stop here, Sam. Let's hear you, then we can go to the CEO.
Quickly, CEO, you called me yesterday. I was in a high-profile meeting.
I knew it. I called since and I answered to you. You didn't respond to you. 4 hours later.
After the meeting, it was a tough meeting. I putting things together here. So appointing some people to preside, and so yes, when I got done, it was a little late, and I texted you. And
I got VP now.
Yeah, we do. And then Today I call you. I believe you are making some money, so you didn't pick up my call.
Yeah, I want the clock, man.
So, Junior, let's get to you again. Junior, listen. Like I said, guys, wasting your time. In every agency, there is.
I was saying that leak Kasia and Kasia wasting your time. We agree. That go to the Solicitor General.
Yeah,
why you
but I'm trying to get to the point now. So
okay, go ahead, Chief.
So after all, again, I don't think there is any law in the Republic of Liberia that say when you are Solicitor General, you can't represent any other client. I'm not sure, except I will have to read, because sometimes when we come on this show, I want to speak on the thing that I have very knowledge on, because I don't want to sound like dummy and say something that at the end of the day, somebody, find out and then I'd just be saying out here. But I'm not sure if there's a law in Liberia that prevents Solicitor General from representing any other client when you are serving in that position. If that is the case, then we can say that's not good. But if it's not, if there's no law like that, Junior, I don't see it as a conflict of interest. You can serve in dual capacity. If he's a qualified lawyer, anybody can hire him. He's not acting as an agent of the government. He's acting as fighting as the agent of his client. So lawyers can do anything, and you go to school to make money, Junior. If I'm a doctor,
I think Junior point there is a potential conflict of interest.
That's what I'm saying. So before we take that position, like conflict of interest, sometimes we have to have a backing. If we don't have a backing, I don't want to speak on something that I don't really get no knowledge on. If there's a law in Liberia, say, you know what, when you're serving in this government position or the government lawyer,
so Sam, there is no law, but we are looking at the professional ethic, the ethical background of this thing.
Well,
you are the senior advisor. I come in now. You are the senior advisor to the president, and then you also serve in the Ministry of Justice as the senior prosecutor. Take, for instance, you are taking on a case that might drag from one court to another. Don't you think, ethically, even if the law is not there, you have been one of the person on this show that have been saying that even when the law is not on the book, there are some ethical things that we Liberians need to do.
Yeah.
You speak on the issue in Prophet Key case, you set instances on that. And you said the law was being misinterpreted and all of that. But in this case, it is true that there is no law that says as a Solicitor General, you can represent a private client. But on the ethical basis, as a professional person, you serving the state and then going into a private issue. Sam, I'm looking at the aspect where the case might delay, it might take time, it might be transferred from one court to another, and serving as a lead counsel, as a lead legal person in the case. If the case is being transferred to another place, you will go there. What becomes of the government own case you got on hand?
But Junior, we shouldn't waste our time. What is the case that coming direct here? The guy doesn't even make sense of. Maybe he gets some money, he wants for people to eat. The first thing is, you have been convicted as, especially wiring fraud. That's a felony there. I mean, maybe second degree of felony, and he want to go to Liberia, and because he came from here, and then maybe he got some cash on him, he wants to run for national leadership of the IFA. Let's not waste our time. He's not even going to go anywhere. They're going to throw that thing out, and maybe they're going to throw that case out. He ain't get case, to be honest.
Thank you so much. I think for the Cassiel thing, I don't want to dive into it. I don't want to go into it, whether he got case or not, whether he's convicted or not. My only issue has to do with the Solicitor General. You can't be playing a dual role when you got other responsibilities to take care of. That's my only concern. But let's hear you, Chief.
I think I have to agree with both of you on this. Sam said it right. We want to speak from an informed position. But for me, without having the facts, without having all the details there, just the optics of it, it looked really bad to me. It looks really bad, Like you know, with respect with Africa, Liberia connection, network connection is a big deal. This man is a big man in the government now. He's representing this case. So you can spin it all you want. The optics don't look good at all. Like you said, there's no law that stops that. But on the other hand, too, I think they are bigger. I mean, there are other lawyers over there that you could have gone with. But I will have to agree with Sam. Since for me, I haven't been following that. I only saw group of men enter what's this Cassell's office or wherever you were having meeting, and then they started fighting. I don't know what that was about. That's the only thing that I've seen come close to that. So I don't know when is their election. I don't know who's contesting against who. I really don't know much about that elephant thing.
Yeah, my only thing is, you want to go Liberia and represent people. You come in the country, you know, a lot of these guys who say they get money, some of them, how they acquire their money in this country to have a clean money, they will not do. Some of them involve into all kind of nonsense stuff. Then when they go Liberia, they want to be the boss. No. Let the law take its course.
Now I see where you're coming from now. Now I understand. I understand your position now. Yeah. You know, Cassiel was convicted, it's true, and he has never shied away from that. He was convicted. Wire fraud is for smart people that they want. In Africa, we can call Yahoo boys. You know, people that deceive people on the internet to get money from them.
That's a white collar crime, very white collar crime.
That's a white collar crime. So the story behind Cassiel is long, and he's using that wire thing like very using it very good. You got a very potential football team called Fasia FC, and they are moving very strong. For me, my only concern in this issue has to do with the Solicitor General being involved. That is my major concern. But another thing, today, some rebel leaders from Nima County, Booyah District, Young Blabwe, and his folks, they spoke to the media, and this is what they said. Let's hear them, and then we can have our say on the issue.
Azova there.
So, the General, welcome. What is your concern this afternoon that you want to let the public know?
Thank you very much. What I want to say to the citizens of Liberia, they shouldn't feel punished. They shouldn't think that the president is taking side. The president not taking side. The president want to take in law. The Guineans do not mind that no men in Liberia. Liberia got men. Liberia got soldiers. We have U.S. Army in America. We got AFL and in Liberia. And the U.S. Army, they got U.S. Marine. We in Liberia, we the Freedom Fighter, the ex-combatant, we are just a Marine. We only waiting for order. And what simply I will tell the Guinean government, they should withdraw. They should withdraw their men. They should withdraw their men who came in Liberia here with a single barrel. A single barrel. Who took weapon upon weapon. They shouldn't feel that thing what they get at that weapon for us. It's very easy to take it from them. They should withdraw immediately. I'm saying I mean it. They don't withdraw. The country war between country and country, what he looking for, that he don't want to feed it. We know the guerrilla warfare. Those people are over there, they are not been fighting before. We the old mat. They are just cutting mat. They are just cutting piece of bundle of bamboo to come plant mat. We been plying mat. We know the location. We know the institute of Guinea. We know if they want to be on Liberia side for us to be on our side, let them simply tell us that your count side, Solar Biso. It's very clear. I'm telling them they should withdraw. They should withdraw. They should withdraw. I give them 2 weeks, 1 week for them to withdraw. Give them 1 week for them to withdraw.
So in what capacity you are speaking?
I'm speaking because this land is for Liberia. They got our piece of land in the history. this guy a piece of land. They cannot walk into our land and deploy men there, crossing the water. Even I blame the Lothian. Why they allow for men to sit in kingdom and come in Liberia, they standing in front of them. Why they can't bypass them and go call out damage that kingdom to go down? They allow for the people to get in the kingdom and go by the kingdom.
So you wanted for the Lothians to do what?
I want for the Lothian to feel relaxed.
No, what you wanted for them to have done at the time the Guinean soldiers were crossing over?
Yeah, at the time they came, they are so to lead them on the side here and bypass them go break down that kingdom. Or they push it and go down. Even someone standing or they say on the tree, they say that snapper. That monkey or on the tree, so that monkey. Someone is standing, you on the tree looking one place. You know what will come from behind you? They shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be afraid that any other person.
So General Youngblood, you said that you are giving an ultimatum 1 week to the Guinean soldiers to withdraw.
To withdraw.
I was asking you in what capacity you are speaking, because you hold no position right now. You are not in authority.
No matter, don't think I'm not on payroll. The time we were fighting along with Taylor, we were not on payroll. So we fought for freedom, to free our people. You know, our father Taylor say, fire reply fire. What fire come from that? There where fire go air. So they shouldn't feel that our president in Liberia, he forgot about us. President forgot about us. We are willing to do any other thing that will free our citizens in Liberia. Where someone go against us, next country go against us, we are willing.
So if the Guinean soldiers don't withdraw, because they are here on a mandate from their leaders in Guinea, so if they don't withdraw, what will you do?
More especially that our leader are talking to, that the presidency are talking to, that thing where you get it, you see that weapon, that weapon for us, that weapon for us, for the men in Liberia.
There are people who are saying that Liberia is not prepared. Liberia does not have the ability. We don't even have the army, the number of human beings to fight a Guinean army.
Really? Do you think that we are not got the ability? We fought with single barrier, we capture arms, upon weapon, missile and all, we capture it. My strength, other people know it. My strength, they know it. I don't drive by, but what going on is law. We are waiting for order. It is violate. Maybe certain things will happen, they will withdraw. It's clear. I'm telling them.
So, General Blobwe, what have you to say about the government's response to the situation currently in Foya, the way the Guinean soldiers are on our side, and the government is still diplomatically approaching the issue? What have you to say about that?
No, it's very clear because the government do not want to go wrong. He is a law-abiding citizen. The government is the president is a law-abiding citizen. So he laying complaint when there's no, even are inviting the UNs, the ECOWAS to look into it. If they fail anything happen, ECOWAS shouldn't blame us.
You think at this time ECOWAS should come in, or is it still early?
It's still soon. ECOWAS can come in, but when they come in at 1 week, I tell the president. The president is I'm talking about the men about what they just do a tying rope. When they call the snake here, they snake that rope.
Okay. So you are giving 1 week ultimatum to the Guinean soldiers to withdraw.
Exactly.
If they don't withdraw, what will you do?
They don't withdraw.
Because you are not the president of Liberia to do anything. You are not army general. You are former rebel leader. You know, you fought the war.
They don't withdraw law take undicos.
Okay.
I don't get the power, but law take it undicos.
So how is it concerning you? People may ask.
Yeah, it's concerning me because they are our citizen. Loma man, you call a skin now, the blood will come from inside. You call Gilman skin, you call Monoman skin, you call Crime skin, the same blood. So we're concerned about even why may you call a skin the same blood. So we should be concerned about citizens in Liberia. No matter they from Lofa, they are Liberians.
If this thing was happening in Nimba County, on the Guinea, from the Guinea, in fact, the Nimba side of the border, what will you do?
Really go for they will not even happen. They are coming happy. Maybe we'll share boundary to do them, or even really, I don't think so. I don't think they get a strength. If they get a strength, yeah, then right here to the border with
Well, I have a lot of questions to ask you guys, but I would just ask one. Do you think this team might take another turn very soon? with the involvement of these various warlords speaking now. It's not only Young Broadway. Recently was Bon Naked who spoke, and now Young Broadway is speaking. And quote, he said, when really asked him, and let's say kudos to credit to Voice of Gompa for this interview, when really asked him if this thing was in Nima, what would you have done? He respond, those of you who know how those guys can talk, I think you can read through those responses. You know why he said that. He said, but now something different would have happened. We might share boundaries somewhere in, and they say, take it to or where, and that will be the end. And when they asked him again, what do you think the Lofian should have done? He said, they should have left the guy on Aquino Park behind them with cutlasses and chop that whole thing down. He said, that snapper I see on the tree. That mean a monkey, that snapper there. That's why he said, quote. So my question now is, are you guys having any kind of thought that this thing might take different trends, they might take issue into their own hands as these fearful people, the warlords, and speaking to the issue now?
You see, you that when you're out there born telling you remember that show we've been warning you, advising you, giving you heads up as to what we witness and what. So this is actually a good thing for the young people, the people who really didn't see. So you saw Zova sitting there talking. He was just explaining. I was just talking, and this is a man that is powerless, that doesn't have anything, and he's talking like that. So imagine what they used to do when they were strong. They were men. So I know it's funny, but you know,
and scaringly, he was not alone. He carried a general gun.
Yeah, so I can't really, traditionally I can't speak against that man. So I will clear that one first before I go further. But I don't think it's going to go. I don't think this will escalate. I don't think it's going to go further. I don't think it's going to go anywhere in terms of fighting. In terms of fighting Guinea, it's not going to happen.
Don't you have the feeling that because they've been saying that they are guerrilla fighter? Don't you have the feeling like they will organize themselves and go to take issue in their own hands?
The only time that would have happened if it was in Nimba. Right? What happened in Lofa? If it happened in Nimba around Mutuo, the border there, then I would have told you they won't even wait for no government to intervene. They are going to take law into their own hand. But what's happening now is happening in Lofa. With all respect to our people there, they handle things differently than that of Nimba people, especially we from the border. If this was going to be in Tiaple, then I can guarantee you that we're singing different song right now. It was going to be different. But because it's in Lofa and other parts of the country, I doubt that. Because the citizens there, as you can see, they're not going to take laws into their own hand. They're not going to do what we the Nimbanians would have done, especially we from Buyao. I can guarantee you, I give it to you free. If this was in our era, but now we are. Imagine just recently you saw what happened in Butu where somebody allegedly killed. Where you saw what happened. So those guys, they are still there. They are still there. Some of them, that's what they know. Again, not to really talk a lot, but that's what they know and that's what they want to do. So when they see them, when they start smelling it, just like a lawyer. When lawyers start seeing court coming, cases coming, you're yearning for it. Those that sell casket, they pray for people to kick the bucket so they can make business. That's how it's looking. So it's scary. I think the bigger picture there is for our government to see that Liberians are not happy with the way in which the Guineans are being disrespectful. And then you don't want to push the people. Someone can be respectful as what said. You don't want to push them too much, because when you start pushing the people too much, then it gets to the point where. So I think the government is doing the right thing. Interviews like this, why Amazova, I like it, but I don't think we should be hosting the type of interviews. It's not good. I think it has a propensity to add more flame to the fire. Bondeke and Mazova and all the people that they should not be granting an interview right now because those guys are frustrated, right? And they're seeing in the Guineans and crossing, doing all the things. So I think the government is doing the right thing. This is the right thing they are doing. I know a lot of my friends, some people disagree with me. I really don't care about that because we don't want no war. We don't want no fighting. We don't want anything. So we'll try, pray, and hope that they continue this path. Now, with your fear of if this might escalate, people might take things from their own hand. No, they are saying these things out of frustration. If you listen to them keenly, even from the Bondeke man to other people that have been speaking, folks in the diaspora, everyone that talk on Facebook and saying they're all speaking out of frustration. You know,
So is there any means that a frustration can be expressed physically?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the area. If it was in Nima, I can tell you for sure that then frustration has expressed itself physically. Then we're talking about everything. But other parts of the country, like Lofa, yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not going to something. But if it was in Nima, take for example, again, you are young, you really know. Imagine someone from Pampley crossing over to Blantour and taking land. It's not going to happen. It will be very, very difficult. Someone from Doba coming to Buto can take land from there. That's something that will be very, very hard for them to do. And then it going, I don't know how many weeks now, going to a month, and the people sit there and watch it. Soldiers are going to go missing one at a time before they even know it. So I think it's not going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I pray that it continues to be calm this way. And we, as media platform, and other citizens, I think is the onus on us to preach civility and preach peace, and not fall for the things that those people are saying, because it's not, at the end of the day, it can be good. So I don't think the interviews should continue. I think they should stop interviewing those people and let the government continue to do what they are doing.
You know, I wanted to hold reading contempt today, but after I listened to the interview, that's over. He said call ready. So
He's a call man. Yeah. So
I don't think that again for it again. But CEO, before we go to Sam, today the commissioner visited the Cornerstone in Lofa there at the Solomon Port of Entry. And he tried to explain the Cornerstone to the journalists and gave some historical background and what had been happening at that port before. And a citizen of that area also spoke to press, and he said the guy who had been making farm on that land for the past almost 20 years now, according to him, he has been making farm there from 2005. He said this is not the first time that they have been harassed. Quote, they have been harassed by the Guineans before. And I'm finding it a bit difficult to reconcile my thought here with the fact that the government says this was a kind of contractor disagreement between a mining company, a sand mining company. And now we're seeing, according to the commissioner today, the other cornerstone that is at the previous location, they have removed it and placed another cornerstone there with the inscription being written in French.
Yeah.
Now, are you having any other thought? Are you thinking some way, somehow, that there is something that this government is not telling the Liberian people?
Yeah, you know, when Honorable Billy was here the last time, he said something. He said this exactly what this guy said today. He said it. He said, from his sources, he believed that this has been happening to other parts of the county, other bordering areas, and people have not been taking that into serious consideration. Where he alleged that the Guinean people will cross, and then they will put their mat across the Liberian people area, and so it has been happening. Now, I think there were things that were happening in the corner there, but they were being handled traditionally with the superintendent. Remember now, the people over there, they speak the same dialect. They have family. They get, they marry from each other. They cross the border, so they know each other there very well. I think things have been happening, and they have not been taking it serious, and people have been just discussing it among themselves. But I think the illegal mining situation ignited the whole deal and brought everything out, which I think is a good thing, because what's going to end up happening is people will see this now, and going forward, people will be careful with it. Joseph, your man DK will be joining us here soon. So I think a lot of things have been happening. A lot of things are there that the government is not saying now. It might be for security reasons. It might be for other reasons that they best known to themselves. For me, if it's something that has to do with de-escalating the tension there, then I'm all for it. But if it has to do with anything, illegal, that has to do with illegal mining or anything finicky, then I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, there are so many things that are happening there, and everything coming to. You gotta remember now, Lofa way over there. People in fact, the border doesn't even have signal. Spoon and other folks who are going live there, they use Starlink. So that's how remote it is. So people really don't go there. People don't get news from there. If you listen to the people that live there, they are in the remote part of the country. So there have been so many things going on there. So hopefully this event will bring some light to everything that has been happening over there for our people to have some type of justice.
Great. Let me not ask the same question across the board, but let's welcome Alvin Zor. Y'all didn't need my man. Y'all not start coming or telling the people that. Let's say America get Marine. We the gorilla fighter. We are the Marine for
that. Imagine you sing a bar to kind of country talking about
people get gun. So Sam, let's go over to you. What say you about this recording? How do you see it to be? Is it terrible for you?
By the way, you blog away from your diaple.
I know.
Okay, so
you're not scared of us.
Let me give you that warning.
So to let you know, like I've been rightfully put in, those are things that we were trying to caution you guys the last time when you were talking about, the government not doing this, we're experiencing. It's one of those things that I think the government is doing the right thing. We don't want to go to the dark days. It was difficult. I saw how this guy entered in Liberia. When they first came, they said, the rebel people don't see them. We walk from our town to go to Berkeley, the road to go see them. The time they pass. So the only thing I was laughing for is, does Yon still have that strength again? I was just laughing when I saw the interview. The only thing that came to mind is my爸used to say, old age is not on your heart, but it's on your body.
Your body, yeah. The mind.
For him now, everything they did before when they were pretty young guys, when they enter, everything's still there. But I don't think physically.
He made it clarity. He said he might not be in the position, but he got a voice and a command.
Yeah, but command comes with what?
So that's to tell you that man can govern us folks, and he will just be sitting down somewhere and they will be doing the work for him.
No, at that time he himself was at the front page, because for soldier to be brave to fight, is their commander is with them. At that time, Young Broadway and the other guy, Josh, the guy that was with him, all of those generals, I know some of them. They were powerful people, and the king, especially, so go ahead and sit down there. But the idea now is they all old now.
Caesar Mazarin stay down there.
Yeah, they all old now. They can't do anything. Even as far as Boneke of yesterday is not Boneke today. So all of those things, the idea is still there, but there's nothing, not a whole lot they can offer now. All I can say on this show is the government is doing the right thing. We don't want to go to the dark days. We don't want to see those things. I've been rightfully put it.
in our Nimba country, then it's a care right now.
Yeah, different thing we're talking.
It's a care. Because these guys, they still think that they have this physical strength. It's not
And they're still there.
Yeah. And
they're still there.
Those guys, by this time, blood is sharing in Nimba County. So that's different between the country called Nimba and the rest of the countries in Liberia. We are warriors, especially the Dan tribe. We are warriors. We are judges. So those nonsense cannot happen easily in Nimba County. But we pray that the government will still put this under control. Quickly here, that Cornerstone is showing there, Junior, what has been happening. It has not been the involvement of the military. It has been between the other Kisi group on that side and the Kisi group on that side. So they will go there and make fun and they beat each other, but military had not been involved like this kind. That's why that guy was trying to say, and I was watching it. It's not the first time, but it happened in the past. But for military to really close, come to our side like this kind, it are not happening. I will stop right there and give other people the opportunity to talk.
Let me ask you this question before
we go. See you, Avin. Yes.
Do you think that the government of Liberia will relinquish that land, that particular territory? Because from all indication, Guinea is not willing to fall back. If they were willing, I mean, in the first week of their commander issue, their commander statement, by now they would have gone back to their territory. Do you have any other thought that Guinea might not give up that territory to Liberia anymore?
Is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Junior, come on, man. That land is not. They will give it. They will fall back. Sometimes it's not easy. As a man, when you take the arrow or the stone from your side and throw it, to put it back, it's not easy. That's what happening to them. But they will go back. The people are talking, leaders of other countries and organizations like ECOWAS and AU. They are calling, and I believe that thing will be resolved. People making big deal out of it. It's gonna, because the way we Liberians responding to it, they will get tired and go back. We're not looking for war. So they will go back. These people are family.
It might be the other way around, though. Maybe the guys are saying the way Liberians are responding to this thing. I mean, they already for all, no need to fall back. The next thing, let's put our leg get here and let's.
No, they will, because people calling them too now. They're under pressure, though. They will go back.
So you are optimistic that Liberia will regain that territory?
I'm confident that they will withdraw their troops. The people.
But here is my thought, though. That Lena for you people again, because their disaster management team have already gone to that place to settle those displaced people. Settlement means they're taking you from one location to another, and then you're going to settle to another place. And so,
remember, you told you the people shouldn't panic. People shouldn't panic. So
the man said they shouldn't panic, but the first thing they should have done was to pass behind those people with cutlass. Even though they shouldn't panic, but they should have passed behind them with cutlass.
Monkey.
I was just laughing, you know. That interview, are kidding me.
Thank you.
Mr. I was telling you, lawyer, right? When you're a lawyer, all you want a lot of cases. You were talking about this. You see what happening? This man, that's what they know. That's what they learn. That's what they know. No matter whatever you get, any other thing they don't know that they truly know. So the whole life is.
Thank you, Mr. Alvin. Is all welcome. Let's hear you on this issue. Good evening, welcome to the show. Alvin, what say you, my chief?
Thank you, Junior. I think it's kind of a funny situation that's going on. I've been following that story for I think a week or two now, and every time I go on Spoon FM to get an update, but it seems to be that these guys from Guinea are not backing down, as you rightly stated. And also seeing the interview from Young Blogbe today, when Young Blogbe key into into spotlight. We were kids at the time. And those guys were very powerful. I've not even seen him like face to face before. I just heard his name. So I saw him today on the interview, and he was like, talking with real zeal as though we were back in 2003 and stuff like that. But to come to a point, I think Guinea is taking too much advantage of us on a serious note, because you cannot let a situation evolve into a bigger conflict that is not even deserving to be. In the sense that our president had left the last time and gone to Guinea with the president of Sierra Leone, we all were thinking that after that meeting, the situation would have been amicably resolved. But since then, it just still remains the same. Now you're trying to, this is a mere provocation now. I think it's a mere provocation. If he was not in agreement with the discussion, the peace talk that it went for, I think it was just going to be okay to say, okay, I don't even want to meet to begin with. But you met, everybody thought that the issue was being resolved. And then weeks later, we're still on the same thing. Now you're provoking other people. You're making men who feel that they are men in the nation now to start waking up. We don't know how all women in Liberia, we have men in Liberia too. I mean, we are not here to incite any form of conflict. We've evolved from war. Our whole aim is to rebuild our nation, which we are happy for, the level of development that's going in our country. But you cannot come on a sovereign nation soil and try to just cause chaos. And this is what the guys are doing. I kind of side with Young in the sense that I'm not saying we should go back to war, but when people step on your toe too much, sometimes you got to tell them that your toe is there. But I know we Liberians are now willing to go into any confrontation that will bring our country back to the dark days. Our whole aim is for the government to continue to pursue the diplomatic progress that they've been making. We just hope and pray that the diplomatic process will be able to take a course and this issue will come to a resolve. But if not, I mean, if push comes to shove, Young Boy will stay around. That's where I can start.
The diplomatic process is still going on, but yesterday, Julius Jett and other reporters, they spoke with citizens of that area after the legislature made a visit to that place, and they expressed one key concern, that the place that is currently being occupied by the Guinean forces, these are areas where they make their farm. The farming season is around. They are not seeing any sign of them falling back. If it continues, it means hunger will fall in that area. Does it sound any way to you? Is there any other thing?
Let me come in there, right? So what I said, let me buttress this a little bit, and then you can go to CLT. I think Cyrus, everyone will agree with me on this. So the leverage we have now, right, is what we are doing to pressurize this guy and then let the international community push him, right? The US, France, and other folks will join in eventually to get him out of there. I think that's the biggest leverage we have, and we should explore that and we should push it to the limit. I think that should be our only option now. Now, back to the disadvantage that so for me, when I look at it, the reason why you hear me talking peace, push, I know it's disrespectful what that guy is doing. I've said this on the show over and over. The man has his own issues in Guinea. So he's trying to divert the attention to the issues that you have in Guinea. Because in Guinea, the French-speaking countries, right? I live in Ivory Coast for decades. They are very loyal to their country when it comes to anything that comes from outside, or if the country is going towards something that is outside, even sports, you'll see all of them will go together. So if you saw that guy when he was handing the flag over and all the things, you saw everybody came. All the folks that are not even in favor of him, they all came up. So he's playing tricks. He's using this time to be able to distract his people from the real issue, the economy, his opponent being exiled, and that funny election he won, and all those things. That's what he's doing. So now it's a bit that he's throwing. If we fall for it, God forbid, we will when you talk about fighting, then we all know what can happen. Everybody display, people running head scatter. The men is wearing Guinea down there, Ganta Guinea. Ganta is one of our major business cities. They run over there. We know what happened in 2003 or 2002 when they came from Guinea. There, we know what happened, and we know how long it took us to. It's not that we can't hit them and we can go, but we saw what happened, right? Even Ivory Coast, when the men were doing that thing, guess what happened? The guys that came right from our same area there, and when Ivory Coast and they destabilized Ivory Coast. Liberia can do it. We have men over there, but what is it going to benefit us because when you're fighting, no fair game fighting. When the men did that thing, they start coming over there all our little development we have undertaken, all our So go back to 1990 and now see how long it has taken us. And I just recently was seeing Ganta developing. So we're gonna sit down and let this junta leader draw us into something that we don't want to do. I say no to that. I think the U.S. and the rest of the world will step in, and the men will leave that place or go back. So that's my suggestion to the people, and I say we should continue to remain calm and use all diplomatic means to be able to pressurize that dude to get back out of it.
Thank you, CEO. Before we go to CIWT, here is my thought. Government will not go back to that place anymore. They will not do anything. The diplomatic process finished. President Baga went down there. He told the men I agree, so everything stayed there, everything finished. The only reason why you're seeing this thing is still being discussed at the level of maybe the legislature is because the citizens still speaking on it. But I give you 1 week from now, once the citizens stop to talk about this thing, that land stay for the Guinean. You see, then they will start erecting their checkpoints, they will start building structure in that place, and it will remain like that forever. What we know about taking over territory is either the two sides retaliate or one side do the retaliation and the other side gave her the territory. That's it. But if we say we're going by diplomacy, and people have been saying, the reason why I believe that this thing will not resolve is we lied. The government lied to the people. You said this was a contracted, disagreement from sand mining in the river. How can you leave the river issue now and go way inside the territory of another person? And you go erect your checkpoint there. And you say the other place belongs to us. Now we're seeing the commissioner interpreting the cornerstone. He's saying those guys are taking the cornerstone to go like this instead of it going to the north side, they're taking it to go to the west side. It's terrible. And the government keeps saying we're going with diplomacy. Which kind of diplomacy do we want here anymore? The procedure at which the diplomacy was taken in the first place, it was wrong. You can't be talking about settling territorial dispute, then you go to the man who is in conflict with you already. You got other entities that you could channel that to. The AU is there, the ECOWAS is there. If possible, the UN is also there. But you left that procedure and you went there and you say, oh, we finished talking. The next day, the guy made fun out of us. He released a statement. The statement said, oh, the military should fall back. Do you know how long it is? And Sam will be sitting here and say, when men take decision, it will take time. Which kind of decision that woman and man thing they're doing there before it will take time? You're in someone else's territory. That's a complete violation. And the government is not doing anything about it. When the citizens express their opinion, you see other people trying to pin you down with other statements like, oh, the Constitution says that, the Constitution says that. What is the president who saw a vow to protect the Constitution and the territory of Liberia? You know what is happening? None of us know the status of that guy who was shot in the leg. None of us know his status. Whether he not die or he's still living, sorry for my outburst. None of us know. And we keep sitting. I know Liberians, we are quick to forget about issue, and we say, yes, let's just forget about that thing. We need peace and let peace reign. And for me, if that's the case, let them settle those people. Let somebody go to, the other places and get their land and build their houses there. But I know the government will not do anything about it because they are not giving us the clear information. Other people are saying it's sand money issue. Other people are saying other things. And I will stop here for now. Alvin, I think you wanted to say something short, then we go to CIWT.
Right. And I just want to buttress what you were saying. It's the same government that said the last time they should return the AFL land to them. that God is not making new lands. So God is not making new boundaries. If our boundaries were there, they've been established. The boundary is what divides us. So if the guys are coming, and we've been taking the thing diplomatically. And first of all, Junior, I think it is because of our lack of a lot of things that is making us so afraid. The government got nothing. Did you even see the first day when they said they were sending the two military cars that were passing through Foya? They couldn't even claim the hill in Foya. It was smoking. So how do you even face with people? So that's the fear. If Liberia was equipped, you think they'll still be sitting down trying to channel this thing through diplomatic routes? No. But because we know we lack everything, you go to education, we lack. You go to healthcare, we lack. Every little thing in our country, we're lacking of them. So they're where our shortcomings are. So if the guy comes again, probably if the feeling will over, they'll probably proceed to Nima. And come again and read another checkpoint. So what are you going to say? Diplomatic pursue again? So it's kind of frustrating, but I don't know what the government is thinking at this point. But we are reaching a breaking point that the government needs to act. Thank you.
I agree with you. The government need to act. Whatever way they can act, let them do it. Whether diplomatic way, I think the diplomatic way has already failed. So let's take the other way around and let's see how best our citizens can go back to their homes. Siawete, you seem to be a little busy. Let's hear you on this issue, Chief.
Yeah, John, thank you. Good evening to CEO, Mr. Zor, you, John, and the Honorable Saint Cyrus Badier, the Baybona ambassador. I'll just be buttressing CEO because, like what he said, I was watching certain video this morning, about the Duke in Guinea. And if you see, can you imagine the brother, his sister is riding a Lexus. I think the Lexus President Bouaga is using currently, that's why his sister is using. And you see the convoy that is carrying the lady for prayer. It's even more than, I don't know, probably is equated to our vice president convoy. So I sat today, I see, sometimes when people are not leading right, they want to distract people from because if you actually go to the media, the Guinea media, you'll get to see the discrepancy or the disparity in the citizen opinion as to his current route. So I think that is being used now as a diversion for the current state of affairs. But as in regards to Liberia, like I always say, I think the approach, is provoking. We all know, but I think it's provoking. Every one of us is painful, but I don't think that could be the remedy, moving. Right now, like I said, and Alan said, right, we experience a lot of things during the war. Look, I keep saying on this platform, I don't care what approach you take. If we release arm or what approach you take today, at the end of the day, we will have conversation on the table. We understand from where they are coming. I mean, Young Blogger said a lot of things today, and he made some sense. He was not ready putting for, going to fight and all of that. I know what he was putting out about disadvantage and all of that. When you look at the two of that gentlemen, they are hurt about what is happening, but that shows how Liberia has now become a responsible country. Because back in the days around 2002, 2003 moving, we're talking different thing right now. So that shows how everyone have understood the essence of peace. Because every one of us, even then, right now they got a plantation, like you said, they got houses and what have you. So are we waiting to go back to the dark days? No. But on the overall, right now, the position of Liberia, the image we have built as a nation, I think it's important we maintain that. But equally so, our government will also need to communicate with the public. I think I see some level of, the level of communication is very low. I feel that it's being barefooted because the Ministry of Information is not being robust in terms of giving information. The executive marshal, these are recipes for conflict. What is happening over there? At least the information ministry or the executive should be able to brief the public as to what is unfolding, what engagement going. Because mind you, today, if someone just wake up from Lofa and just move into that place, you might not get control. Before you even, get to these places to handle some of these things, they're going out of hand. So the government will need to make a very serious approach to that because it's blowing out of proportion. For me, I'm not looking at I'm not playing people trying to play politics. Oh, the government is weak, the government is this. No. Right now, in the position of Liberia currently, we are in a very responsible position as a nation, being on the UN Security Council. And all of that, I think that's the best approach because as of now, Liberia, I don't think, because the approach the last time the chief of staff, if I may be correct, he did a communication ordering all of the armed men to disembark from the various borders. So they are still invading most of these territories. I think it's intentional. The government also need to carry on another approach, like maybe communicating to the presidency and the military again. All of these things is done diplomatically, is done to show to the world how responsible and what approach you are taking, because tomorrow it will also show that, oh yeah, I took this step, I took this approach, I made this approach, I made this. So when all these ones are being packed, then now it becomes a reference for tomorrow. That's how I see it. But if one person cannot withstand, because right now the young man is fighting, is going against, how you call it, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and other countries around. Why you alone can do so? If all these people amalgamate forces and join, it's a problem for you. So that's the sub-region, everyone looking at each other. People, that's why you see globally people be alarmed. So he needs to be careful. All of what is happening, I don't think is Liberia being lazy. No. That's why I saw Young Global said today. In all fairness, the guys know what. CEO, I'm not saying this to inside, right? The last time during the protest at the Mount, just see the approach those guys carry. Just see the approach. That shows how Liberians, even in the absence of being prepared and having all of these, capacity and what have you, we stay, possessive. Why it is? So, the government, what I would say is they need to communicate rigorously with the citizens, because they feel provoked and they keep saying that. Even the last time to conclude, they conducted a certain interview there, and the Lofien said if they don't handle that problem as soon as possible, anything happen, if they get a land, they will be moving to the president home. It sounded funny, but I think they are feeling more provoked now of what is happening. But in it all, we all need to be patient, watch up, and listen to the government for the way forward. That's what I can say.
Yeah, Jim, before you come in to buttress why Charity said vote that was DK coming. DK, one of your picking was asking for you, Joseph one was asking for you. He said, what my big brother DK can join. But do you asked a question, and I think I skipped that, and Sam and everyone else, I think we skipped that, and we haven't talked about it. To think that what that guy is doing is only for land purposes, they only want regular land to say, oh, this is the real border, we're supposed to be here, without any undercover reason, we'll be misleading ourselves. Everything that's around it has to do with for mining, mineral, and other things. And I believe he's being backed by the Russian big time. Remember now, they got one Russian mining company in Guinea very big, that has been there since 2006. And we all know what the Russians can do. So I think there are so many things that are under this. It's not just regular land to say, oh, we want to prove to Liberians that this particular spot here is for us. The river is of. So let's sit back and think and see why they are so mad, why they are so upset about this river, why they are so mad about this river, the illegal money, because something is in there. Out of McConnell River, whatever it's called, something is there. That's why I'm pushing all this. That's why you've seen there, all the area they're coming across to Liberia, they're trying to push in so that particular section can be quote unquote for them. So it has a lot to do with something that are not being said. And you ask a question as to if our government knows some things and they are not saying it. I think that could be the answer to your question. I think there are a lot of mineral in that area that the Guineans are trying to take, and with the back of the Russian people. And that's where I think, as we continue to push this peaceful process, that's where I think the U.S. and other people, France and other European countries, will join Liberia as something big will happen down there. It's not going to be war, but the other world superpower will join in and try to use other medium like ECOWAS and AU and other people to try to get those guys back. But it's not going to be easy because they know why they are there. It's not because it's just one land. No, they're not only regular land. There are so many things under the soil there that they are fighting for.
Thank you, CEO. DK, welcome. I have a lot of things to say here, but let me go to you first. I know you've been following the show. Former freedom fighter.
I remember, buddy.
Warlord.
Man, not warlord. Man, general. General Young Blogway.
Okay, General Young Blogway and his men spoke to the media today, and they said, I think DK going back. But see, you know, this thing here.
DK not come back.
DK, what said you on your interview today? Let me quote some few words he said during the interview. He said, quote, if this was in Nima, it would have been different situation by now. You know what it means, so I cannot unquote that for you. He also said they are not telling the citizens to do any other thing, but at first, when those guys appear on the kino, they would have done something at least to pass behind them with cutlass and chop the whole kino down, but they didn't do it. And he said the citizens should remain kind, but he's giving 1 week ultimatum to the president of Guinea to call his folks to fall back. When they asked him after the 1 week what would be done, he couldn't explain that other part very well. But he said he's giving them 1 week, even though the government of Liberia is taking a rightful procedure, but he's giving them 1 week. That sound alone, that statement alone, I'm sorry, how can you interpret that? And how do you feel about those statements made by the general?
So my first question to you is where that interview was conducted?
The interview was conducted in, I think it was in Ganta.
Ganta, by Gompa Communications Network.
But the caption I saw on the spoon was Radio Banga.
No, Voice of Gompa.
It was actually done by Radio Guambe.
Oh, okay. So that's one. Two, Lofa is not Nima. You might not know Lofa very well. That's one. Two, don't take them lightly. You and the rest of those former combatants, they don't benefit through the war. The only thing they benefit is to get looting material. So if you give them opening, their only benefit is, okay, we can go and loot. So the government too need to be on their alert. I remember when I started working with Representative Cooper, was in late 2012. Like I narrated a story that was issued along the Sesto River bank there between from Birmingham border all the way to Butu border. there was heavy gun shooting from the Ivorian side between Biaplu, Grand Tour, or coming to Butu. And so people who were on their farm left. And when we decided to intervene through the commissioner in Benue, they are concerned, the Ivorian authorities' concern was Young and his team was making an attempt to go to Africa Coast with war. So the Ivorian soldiers on our borderline started shooting towards the bureau. Whether they did it to prevent Young Gbagbe, quote unquote, the rumor of Young Gbagbe that going there, that was the issue at the time. It was a lot of partners for almost a week. Thankfully, we were there at the time. We were in Goma Play. We had to go across there. The superintendent was across. No, their district commissioner was across, and we were on the other side to the Butu crossing point there. We had to have a meeting for more than 5 hours. Koga and the people had to call for car. What I'm saying is, a Young and his team know that region very well. It will cause problem there. The government need to be on their alert, because in case of anything that will happen in our place, there will be severe aggression on both sides. Now they're doing it like, oh, okay, so to good interaction or anything that will lead to loss of life, there will be serious things along our border. So they need to be careful, and sometimes the statement Young and the rest of the people are making, including Representative Yake, the government is not coming out with swift response to them. Now there will be people in Guinea listening to the things, and they will be on their life. So the government need to also tune down what they say, what they're working on the diplomatic side. Because war in itself, the bigger one around the world now, the impact in around the world is tough. Only one time they play that all the shit there, 20% of all the oil will be the play they can pass. That you go in Butu and they say, no, nobody will pass that way, nobody will pass this. It's a major thing around it. So we don't want to open another thing that will distract us. Take for instance, a common example that people even conducting such an interview in Lima, in Ganta, for example, they both having an idea. Imagine, look at the development, the current development in Ganta.
That's my point.
Anybody can stand there and destroy our entire thing in one day. So we don't have to be giving such interview to some people. I was telling somebody big today, I was telling them, why when you get come from spending time with your family come, and if I just open it, more people just carry a microphone to him, you just say anything. They got not doing the he just making free money, he can't. And he do that, oh, let me justify the money I'm eating for 1 week. He talk all the nonsense, and the next day he plan to go sit with his family. And people still take microphone to him. Like he can't do anything for the people. So to me, there are some of those interviews that are not, they need to really censor them before they put it out. No. The press freedom in Liberia, there's a need to really review it and say what needs to be aired in crisis in situations like this, and what people should not say. So I think that particular interview.
So do you think Yake's statement in any way was wrong? Can you flag out a few of them? Because you can't just categorize.
So the first thing is, Jim, where Yake coming from? Like you can't just get a microphone.
According to Yake, he asked for excuse.
Yeah, so you ask for excuse. So when Yake asked for excuse and came back, the very day he got to the airport, he got solution to everything that was happening in the country. He got solution and got all the info now. Everything that happened in the country in answer for more than 3 months. It's the same way with the young government and everything. What I'm saying is, Jim, there are some interviews that are not necessary. The young
So if
working
we
and
say that, I would differ with you a little bit, and when you say some interview
yes,
that
you're right. And you ask me that my own opinion, I say yeah. Anything you say yeah, is yeah. Anything you say yeah that your own. You just ask for what I'm supposed to say. So if you want me to stop, I can stop so you can differ with me.
But I think
so okay, let me differ with you a little bit. Then we
no,
can come back.
before you do that, I may agree with DK. You asked the question if Yeke was right or Yeke was wrong by saying the land belongs to Guinea. That he's wrong.
You can say from his choice now.
Now what I'm
Why
saying
you
is,
say that?
Alvin, 1 second. Alvin, 1 second. June, let me tell you. You know when you know how Yekes is taking pay? Yeke is taking pay because the country is peaceful. Yeke is a lawmaker because the country is peaceful. When they break down, when there's breakdown of rule of law and everything in that country, Yeke will not be a lawmaker.
but,
You know, people that will pay with our money, people that will pay should be responsible. You know, when that so Yeke go is Liberia should be destabilized.
No, that's not your get go.
so Gino, let me
So
say
then why they go?
let me say why he's wrong. So Yeke sources cannot be more credible than that of the international community sources. Liberia and Guinea border is internationally recognized by AU and other international organizations. That is there with that McConnell River and stuff. So unless you want to tell me Yeke sources will be more credible than that of AU and ECOWAS and other organizations, because they are the one who. So the border between Guinea and Liberia is not just something that is just there, or someone say, "Oh, I'm on the area I can cross." No, it's actually an internationally recognized border. So that's why when you say they will not leave, as diplomatic movement continue, they will leave because the line is there, the border is there. It's already recognized by ECOWAS and other international organizations. So I don't know where he's coming from with his.
I mean, you know, sometimes when John putting on a journalistic thing, with argument, sometimes I can say, you know what, John was very little in Liberia. So there are some things that John does not have idea. John, let me tell you today. Let me ask you and tell you something today. John, you know that the issue that happened between quote unquote Prince Johnson and the people of Bronx,
Hey, Diggy, I beg you, that
they are kissed. No. That land dispute, brother. Stop. Don't tell me. No. Gio, there are people that were affected today. There are kids that are living without their parents. That when they see certain people, they don't want to speak to them. Yeke is from Lufa. The place he's from is in crisis. There are family living there. Yeke sit on radio and say, my information say that place for Guinea.
Yeah.
When the Guinean come over and I say they claiming their place, and there's a resistance from the people who sit on the place now, whether it's for them or not. What do you expect? The first incident, I think the second day of the incident was, I think they shoot somebody. Therefore, they didn't die. When a lawmaker say, okay, that place for Guinea, and the Guinean want to take that place by force because they listen to him, what will be the result?
So can I make my take on this issue? Let me say my one.
Yeah, so we can go to Alvin and Cyrus and other people that make it interactive.
You see, Yeke was not wrong in any other way. The Liberian Constitution gave us the right to free speech. One that speech does not violate another person's right. And Yeke's point that he was coming from is totally understood. This recently in Liberia, when the AFL went to 72nd Barrack to take down those places, the president said, "We're not making new land."
I mean, why you laughing? Why you laughing, man?
So,
talking at you, listen to you.
So you see, the president said, "We're not making new land."
Oh, God.
Now the Guineans have come to Liberia and they say this particular portion of Liberia belongs to us. And Yeke said his source told him that this place belongs to the Guinean. So God is making new land for Guinea. And here is what the Ministry of Information is not doing. And I think we need to speak about it. The Ministry of Information has to inform the public every day about the situation that is unfolding there. They are not doing it. They have their regular press briefing. Now, the accurate and proper map of Liberia, it is with the government. The Ministry of Information, by right, they should have displayed that thing during one of their press briefing and say, here is Liberia. These are the boundaries of Liberia. On the west, this is it. This is where Liberia bound this other place. In the east, this is it. In the north, this is it. In the south, this is it. But we don't know. All of us here just sitting on the show, we're saying, yeah, the river divide us. And my point on this issue from the previous stage has been the government lied and said it was a contractor dispute for same money. If this was same money, how is it that we're discussing land issue now? How did we leave from same money thing and then we discussing same issue? Land issue. Why couldn't we just stop those that are money in our river? If possible, we find them. But we coming into Liberia now. It has, taken another trend from same money to our land, and then people saying the land not belong to us. I think Yeke is right. If the land belongs to the Guineans, let the government say it. And let's stop hauling and pulling the Guineans into this thing, because the guy has been very clear. This is our place. We will take it. You as a government of Liberia, for me, I don't know the boundary. I don't know whether it is the river that divides us or not. Show us the boundary, and then we will know what is going on. But we can't be sitting, we keep on saying the same thing, and then you got one Ministry of Information that will sit there when opposition says something, they go after them. When those in position, when they say those things, they don't go after them. And listen to Bob Naked. With all of those things he said, the Ministry of Information had never gone after Bob Naked. But bet me, they will go after Yeka Koluba and any other person that will have their 1 or 2 cents on the issue. All of us here saying we don't want war. Liberia has experienced civil war, but what we're saying is, if this territory does not belong to us, then y'all give it back. If it belongs to us, then y'all take it from those people. I listen to my senior brother say what he say, the position Liberia is sitting right now on the UN Security Council. This is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. Even the top 5 on the UN Security Council, the top five decision makers, they're fighting. They're fighting. So should we hold that as an excuse to say, because we're sitting on the UN Security Council, so it means...
The top 5 you're discussing, you got that. I mean, you have to contextualize what you're saying right now. Look at the geopolitics. Look at the capacity in local Liberia. Let's put it in our own context.
So let's not take it to be a success to say because we're sitting there, it means we cannot take certain decisions. That's my point.
That's maturity.
So if that maturity, then why those that are ahead of us as the decision maker not exhibiting that maturity?
Let Sarah and Avin come in and let us know what they think about
So
your take.
I mean, let's hear you, Chief.
All right, Jim. Why it's true that I concur with you on some points, especially with
I'm coming over, man.
Yeah, especially with the issue of the government not keeping the public informed. Yeah, I concur with you that the government not keeping the public informed. By this time, we should be having press briefing, like you said, at least every week or every day, about what is unfolding at that border, where we stand, and what the next plans are. I agree with you on that point. Okay, I'll take it to the point of the Yeke issue. Yeke is not just an ordinary Liberian. And in time of crisis, people like Yeke, who are being paid with taxpayer money, who vow by the Constitution to protect Liberians, because Yeke is not just, although he's a representative of District Number 10, Masurado, but he also a Liberian who are also vowed to protect the interests of Liberians. The people in District Number 10, I'm pretty sure they have some people in Lofa. And he himself is connected to Lofa. So when he just coming on and making a blanket statement and just talking louder because he has a loud mouth was very wrong. It's very wrong. I think at this point, we all should be coming together as a nation and keeping politics aside. Because when our adversary enter Liberia, it's not going to be talking about, oh, the guy is a CDC guy, or the guy is a Unity Party guy, or the guy is a Liberty Party guy. No. Whoever is seeing Liberia as an enemy to Guinea in time of conflict. So Yeke was very wrong to make that loud statement without watching his tongue. As a leader, I don't know why people even keep electing this guy to begin with.
I forgot why you agree with Gion about that.
I agree with Gion on the point that the government is not keeping us informed. But I disagree with Gion that Yeke was right to make that loudmouth statement as a sitting lawmaker. Yeke is a sitting lawmaker. He's not like me, an ordinary citizen. Even in a case of, a crisis like this, okay? In a case of crisis like this, we can't just sit and say, because I'm from United Party or for CDC, I will be supporting, our adversaries, because that's what Yeke is doing. When people who from Guinean side, who know that Yeke is a lawmaker hearing that kind of thing, what do you think? It reinvigorates them more to keep pushing on. So we should be standing together as one unit, to support our sovereign nation, which is Liberia, instead of making statements like that. Thank you.
But do you agree that God is not making new land?
I definitely agree with that. I also made that statement. I made that statement earlier. I agree that God is not making new land, but the demarcation is there. If the Makona River has been time immemorial, the demarcation between Liberia and Guinea, like the St. John River in Ganta. Okay, take for instance now. Let's take for instance in Nima. The Guinean now cross one day and cross St. John River, who should know to be the demarcation between, Guinea and Liberia. And coming into maybe like Ganta and say they come and put a gate there. What will you say? Will you say guys not making new land in our sense? No.
But the government is not teaching us the map. They are not having press conferences.
They don't have to teach us the map. If it is part of our history, it's part of our history. If the demarcation, if it says in our history that, okay, for instance, like I'll say, I'll give you an example with St. John River in Nima. With somebody, you junior, knowing fully well that St. John River has been the demarcation between, Nima, Liberia and the Guinea on the side of Nima. And somebody coming to them and say, no, Ganta is now the end of Ganta is now the demarcation between Ganta, Guinea and Liberia. What will you say? Will you say, guys, not making new land? So that's the point.
If the evidence show that the demarcation is not a St. John River, then we go by the demarcation that is there. But
definitely. If there's a document to prove that, then we go by that.
Great. So I think the diplomatic procedure that the government is taking is right. And I think what is about to happen here is that we will start to show our map and we'll start to show how and when this demarcation came about. So the government is taking the right procedure, I believe so. But I think the Guinean soldiers still stationed on Liberian soil, that's an issue. And we discuss.
When did they know that was the demarcation? Like the CEO said earlier, there's something that is triggering these guys for what they are doing. When did they know? We've been Guinea and Liberia being existent since the 18th centuries. So why are they coming up to say today in 2026 that the area they're occupying is now a demarcation? Why brought that? What triggered that?
You are 100% right. You and the CEO, you are 100% right. But I think what is triggering that is they have gotten new evidence that demarcation is not for Liberia. I think. Let's hear you.
Unless that evidence is proven beyond all reasonable doubt, I differ with you on that point.
Okay, no problem. That's the entire essence of the show. Sam Saras Bali, your dad spoke today, and you're just watching the man talking. What say you, Chief?
Well, Junior, again, what there to talk about?
No, but Sarah, let me add something to you, to your point, so you can elaborate on that more in detail. History has a way of repeating itself. So I was telling Junior not too long ago about I think there is some type of ulterior motive, something in addition to the issue that the president of Guinea is having in Guinea. He's trying to distract the people from there. I believe there's also something that has to do with this mining issue that is prompting this whole thing. Remember now, the people got mad because, quote unquote, there was illegal mining from our end that prompted this whole thing. And then also, I just stated that the Makona River is the internationally recognized border, like the crossing point, the boundary between Liberia and Guinea. But now, if you look at it, Sam, you see the Guineans they are insisting they're not cross. They're just sitting over there. They're insisting they want to that this is the border. They want to sit down there. They don't want to go back, even though their chief of staff told them to go back. I think there's a reason why they are doing it. They got the map. They got this Russian mining company that has been in Guinea for a long time. I said since 2006, and we know what the Russians are capable of. Do you think, Sam, there will come a time that ECOWAS, I know you don't really trust them, but ECOWAS, AU, and even the United States, the place that you live now, do you think there will be a time that they would come to join in to help Liberia? Because this is more than just border. I think it's about mineral, diamond, gold in that Makona River there.
So, CEO, let me take it piece by piece. I think that I posted some Facebook video in our chat room, I think it was last night. The video was done by Kante Dare. He toured to the border. He shows where those guys were mining from outside. They were dragging some stuff from the river. The sand, then they had something they were dragging the sand and putting it somewhere to extract some stuff. I think the video is in our chat room. The Guinean actually approached them earlier on and told them, say, you guys shouldn't have done this. Even if the river is for you guys, I mean, if the river is for Guinea, but even if the river is not for Guinea, if you want to do anything here, you need to let us know what you guys are doing so we all can sit down and talk about it. So in the past, there have been a little bit of land disputes among the citizens, but military had not crossed to come to our side. You see, CEO, let me tell you the truth. Liberian, the greediness for money, the greediness that in us, sometimes it triggers things. Liberia, the love for money, the corruption is also dictates things. How you go, the river is for a device or if you want to do anything, the people have the right to know what's going on in the river too. But they just went there, they started digging the sand, whatever under there, we don't know. And who was part of this whole thing? Who this that machine, who it belongs to? The machine saying down there, if you go in our chat room, I posted it. Who the machine belongs to? Was that a Liberian company? Or was that some Chinese company where somebody was trying to benefit? It's greediness for this country. Love for money is destroying Liberia. And we need to take this step and just not just make noise when it comes to people make decisions. Why it's true that Guineans cross the border. We have been living there. Liberia and Guinea have been living side by side many years. If you there is a cornerstone rating on it saying 1886. If you Google some of the things what people posted, look at those things. Yeah, people might have a little bit of disagreement about the land, where who to make fun, who not to make fun, but we are not seeing soldiers coming out, crossing the border to come sit down there. I still maintain that the government is doing the right thing, but Liberians with the love for money is killing us, and we are not doing the right thing. So you and myself can't be sharing something, then I go and just start claiming a thing. What will you say? Will you not respond to me? Let's be honest sometimes. When it comes to Yeke Korubak's statement, I think it's very unpatriotic. Why it's true that we may disagree with the government, the way they handle things, the way they do things. Sometimes patriotism also speaks volume. Listen, Liberia is the country we have. No matter how we disagree with each other, our disagreement should not destroy who we are as a people. I think he misspoke. He owes the Liberian people an apology. If he doesn't do it, it's up to him. He's serving and he's taking Liberian bill tax dollars. He's paying his bill. When it comes to national issue, we need to stand together because bullets do not recognize sedition, do not recognize Unity Party, or neither ANC. So those things shouldn't have been said by him. Some people might claim it to be freedom of speech, but freedom of speech has some limitation. Yeke is Yeke today is because Liberian people paying him. Especially saying now on the public TV, like medium like Spoon TV, and saying those stuff, it sounds very unpatriotic. No matter how he hit the president in charge at this point, listen, our hatred should not go that far and damage our country. Let's go to Russia. CEO, I have been monitoring Russia operation. Not because I say that here. Russia does not interfere into people's stuff like that. The company has been there for years. They have been doing their things. They have been doing their contract. They're not going to go tell the Guineans, you'll go there and do this and do that, we'll bite you people. Even from Burkina Faso, they're involving in Burkina Faso, Mali, and all those people. What they're doing, they're providing pathway. They just want for other country to be more independent, and even if they were going to be involved, they were going to come and sign contract, negotiate contract. They're not just going to come and push other people. They are not people who believe in regime change. They're not their policy, unlike other countries that I know who solely believe in regime change and destroying other countries. So I think that what is going on, our government need to, I think they are taking the right decision, calming the people down, making sure that it shouldn't elevate or escalate to the point where gun will fight. But listen, the last time when Senator Snow posted some crazy video or maybe AI picture, I sat down on the show. I said it's very unpatriotic. It doesn't worth to be called senator. It's a disgrace to our country. And I still stand by my word. Because when it comes to Liberia, listen, they are enjoying today is because it's the Liberian dollar. We're the taxpayer. They are eating it. They can't sit down. No matter what you think about the president, Bakai, he said the president of the Republic of Liberia, everybody has their time. There will be a time other people will come. But don't be a disgrace to our country. Yeke now, Yeke is not at this point, I don't think he's a lawmaker, he's a noise maker. And he's also a disgrace to Liberia. So people like that, I don't even come and identify them on the national platform to talk about Yeke, because you guys brought it out. I listened to him. I said, this guy now, everything he was talking from George Weah Town to Joseph Boakai Town, Kosi, and all of those things, I don't care about it. Our politics, our Liberian politics works sometimes. You get recognition of that. But to come nationally and talk nonsense is a disgrace to that country. It shouldn't be elected. People who don't hold the patriotism for the country shouldn't be elected.
This is the problem. When you all go after Yeke a day, and then Yeke come after your... You know the problem about Yeke? You will not look at the government, you go to Joseph.
Why would he go after, like I said, Junior,
you go after Joseph Boakai.
He been cursing George Weah. I don't care. He been cursing how they call it, Joseph Boakai. I don't care. But when it comes to Liberia, he should speak nationally. He can't say, oh, the land for Guinea. How do you even know that again, the land for Guinea? I don't disagree. It's a stupidity.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
I disagree with Sam when he said the Russians don't interfere with people with things like that. That's not the case. Russia is known for that. The example is all in Africa there, Mali and all the places. Russia interferes by providing other things, and they are also deeply involved into gold and other things they're mining. And this is the same thing that we are talking about in that area. So to say Russia is not doing that, if Russia doesn't do that, that would be tough to swallow. You can back them, but don't say they can't do that. They have been notorious for doing that around the world.
They can't do what, Chief? What did I say? They can't do.
You said they can't interfere with people's stuff.
No, I said they don't interfere with. They don't interfere with regime change. They don't.
No, we're not talking about regime change. We're talking about regime change. We're talking about the mineral resources.
I think I clearly stated clearly. I said that when they go to a country, they want to work with you. They don't just go and start taking your mineral. They can negotiate. They go for contract. That's what I said.
But Russia can come to Liberia now and negotiate a contract with Liberia if they are interested in that particular area. You know where they go?
No,
they go to Guinea because they have a good relationship with Guinea.
That's why the geopolitics now we're in. They can't come to Liberia because they know that Liberian they consider themselves American. The food themselves
exactly. That's why he goes to Guinea.
That we live with. That we consider ourselves.
Yeah, we agree. But that's why he go Guinea. We live in America, better slavery. But yeah, I think again, there's more to it than what the naked eye see. So as time goes by, the truth will come out. It's not just regular land dispute. This has more than just land dispute attached to it all over the place.
So again, folks, if you are just joining us here tonight, you are listening to the Heat Tower program, and we are discussing issues of national concern. Mr. Arvin Zoll join us here tonight on the show from Swopley. Because we're gonna late time electoral district 4. One there. So here is my take on the Yeke thing, and I think this is the Yeke issue that might take us home. Yeke, he meant everything that he says. He knows everything that he says. I think I told somebody before that Yeke might have a point, but sometimes the way he conveys his message makes it difficult for people to side with him. And for me, I like to look outside the box, maybe because most of my interactions with criminals, so I like to take their side in most of those cases. And I think Yeke is quite correct. Because if we have a government that internal issue with the citizen, the government will say, we're not making new land, and they see land issue backfire in another way. Yeke want to say the same thing to the government because he's hurt. Yeke is hurt like all of us. People will say leadership role, you got to behave this way, you got to take this other stand if you are in a national position. But I believe a society like Liberia, we need people like Yeke them. If we don't have people like Yeke, it will be difficult for the government to listen to the ordinary citizen. Do you know how long the ordinary citizen have been speaking in a peaceful manner that let's resolve this issue in the government is taking time? If this thing would have been an instance where you saw citizens going down there to retaliate, the government would immediately go in that situation and see how best they can resolve it quickly. But it's not happening that way. You saw the speaker and his entourage went to the area, and the only thing logical they said was they should settle the displaced people. And you all know what settlement is. If you're settling people, it means you're telling them, say the other thing, we're giving you something in exchange for that. Apparently, the government has already decided that let's settle those people and let's leave that place with Guinea. A lot of you here might hear the history or you might have seen it before. For me, I have not seen it. I've heard about it. Folks say Zedikole belongs to Liberia, but was taken away. And I'm pretty sure this was the same procedure. And when people say this thing is about the Makuna River, it's deeper, it's about the money issue, I don't want to tend to believe that. Because this Guinean authority, The guys are not only in Liberia. They have gone to Sierra Leone. So is it the same issue with Sierra Leone too with the Makuna River? Was Sierra Leone mining in the Makuna River? Because this is the same river that divides Sierra Leone and Guinea. So is it the same mining issue that take the Guinean to Sierra Leone? I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that the Guineans are very certain that this portion of land, this particular portion of land, it belongs to them and they want to take it. One may say, why is it that since 1958, they got their independence, they are now come to say, oh, we want to take back our portion of land. Things might delay, but at a certain point in time, it might spark up. It might spark up. I think this is the point Yeke is coming from. If the government do not want us to speculate in this kind of situation, the Ministry of Information is there. They should be the one on the side to be giving us information from what is happening there. But we got media institutions. When those media institutions go there and cover the story, you will see some other people on social media saying the story that the people calling is fake because of political side. So the whole thing has been politicized. And when somebody can say, oh, you're supposed to discuss the country interest, the national interest, it has been politicized from the executive downward. Even we, the ordinary citizen, some of us, we discuss the issue with politics. We don't discuss it with patriotism. Yesterday, if it was the past administration, I was saying, let's take diplomacy. All these folks that I know, some of them today, they will say, oh, the government is doing this, the government is doing that. But these are the same people saying today, oh, let's take diplomacy. Liberia holds a very cardinal position at the international level. Let's not try to jeopardize that. Let's not do this. Let's not do that. Our peace is so important. All of us, peace is important. You know what will happen if Guinea take over that place? You see other countries like Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, they start to encroach on us. And we cannot defend ourselves. Nobody's saying we should go fight war. There are counties in Liberia. Those counties, after the Civil War, it would have been one of the counties of interest, of first preference. One is Lofa County. We are told that Laird used Lofa to enter in Liberia. NPFL used Nima to enter in Liberia. In those places, the border still remains vulnerable. We're talking about Lofa today. Do you know how many borders in Electoral District 4 and 5 that are still vulnerable, where NPFL passed through?
So I'm trying to clarify. I know you're the host there, but we got to clarify too. So you are saying you agree with Yeke. So what do you agree with Yeke on, that the land doesn't belong to Liberia? And also, what's your approach? What's your recommendation with the whole thing? We are not pushing for war. We don't want the people to go to war. We don't want to fight Guinea. We don't want to do all that. But Guinea continues to encroach on our land.
My recommendation here now is that since the government have gone to Guinea and they are trying to resolve this issue diplomatically, it's not working, let them bring in the international community and let the demarcation be done. It's not late.
But I just stated to you though, the demarcation is there. It's an internationally recognized border. Now, so here's the thing, right?
There is not a confusion, CEO. Guinea is saying this is not a demarcation. We Liberians are saying this is the demarcation. I think the best people that could do that is the UN and the other entities responsible for that.
So to do that, you don't, it's almost like in your law thing, you don't just, anything that happens, you just run to the Supreme Court. So there are protocol, there are processes that you have to put in place. You got to go through a system before you go to the bigger folks, right? So Liberia is doing the right thing. They're going step by step, and eventually they'll go up there to the big brothers who have that demarcation. They will step in and say, "No, Guinea, this is the border that we know. This is the boundary." So I know it's hard. Everybody is saying the same thing. Everybody is frustrated. Everybody wants to happen like this, but sometimes you don't react the way other people react. You got to do it in a way, and that's what CLT is saying. So as a more organized, no, I don't know how well you know the French people, the guys from Ivory Coast and Guinea. Those who live in those countries will tell you how those guys behave, most of them. So you can't react the way they are reacting. I think the government is doing. There's no way. No, you have no evidence. We have no evidence to say on here emphatically that the government is not pressing all those. We have our foreign minister; they are working behind the scene, but they will not come on air every day and talk about what they are doing, all that, and they are working. When it comes to diplomatic meetings and agreement, especially with this sensitive issue border thing, you gotta be careful. You can't be like Yeke, who's a leader or supposed to be a leader, come on air and just start talking all kinds of things, and I will throw monkey wrench in the whole arrangement. But the foreign minister, the folks that are up there, they are more level-headed, they are more formal, and they are doing it in a way that other international communities will respect. I can guarantee you that the government is doing that, and as time goes by, we will see the result. You know me; I'm someone that I'm very critical when it comes to things that. But this one, I think they are doing the right thing. We can't follow what Jeke is saying. I think Jeke, the stuff he's saying is not right. I agree with everybody else that's saying the same thing. He should not be. This is a lawmaker. He come from Ghana. You come to RIA and say, "Gonna make a new land."
But
I know he's frustrated with the government. He frustrated the government. He's trying to be. The mayor come out to the airport and say, "Gonna make a new land." No, he said, "Mr. Baka." Mr. Baka said, "Gonna make a new." This is national issue. It's the same way where people went after Edwin Snow for posting that AI thing. It's the same thing. There are certain things you don't play with. There are certain situations you don't joke with. You gotta be very sensitive to it. Look at the people in Lofa now. See the old man there, they're not making that farms. People frustrated, the people they're talking. And then you, a son of Lofa, come, instead of you talking something concrete, and you talk about God making land and the land for people. I think that's not politics. That's I don't know what to say when it comes to that.
And CEO, like you were mentioning, this guy, Edwin Snow, that should be one of the senior person on the ECOWAS Parliament from Liberia. Yeah. Somebody like that with that kind of position, who's supposed to be, talking with the government in how to amicably resolve that issue. Is that taking that situation and making fun with it, as though we're on some comedy show? Like it's so regrettable the kind of leaders we have in our country.
I lot deeper with most of y'all in this show here, because each time you guys compare Liberian democracy with America, but when Liberian politicians try to behave like American politicians, then y'all say no, these people are to be top officials.
So name one, and I will call it the name one American politician that went on air and threw America under the bus. One.
Great. Which one of them just resigned recently?
Well, they got the national advisor on intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Great. What did he say? I mean, what did he say? Why did he resign? No, I don't want to say, hey, why did he resign? I mean,
the man said the war with Iran is not warranted.
Great.
So that's why he said.
Can you will compare that to the sovereignty of America? That's two
You're talking about sovereign.
Yeah, that was his personal opinion.
That's different. That's his own. That's different.
You see, now if that case was in Liberia, I will not laugh. If that case was in Liberia, and Liberia fighting another country, let's say for Liberia fighting Guinea, and then somebody come and say that thing that happening in Guinea is not warranted. It doesn't pose any threat to Liberia.
Okay, let me clarify what I meant by NEMA. So those are comparing apple and oranges, right? Mm-hmm. So with the policy issue in Liberia, people defer the disagree on policy. In America, yes, sir. I forgot the number. They disagree with the war that the president, undertaking in Iran. Disagreeing with the government, the president policy and stuff is different. And you come and saying you're going to take Hawaii from America, or you're going to kill. You see what I say? When they kill one American, every one of them rally around that, right? That's different. So coming to take America land, you will not hear one person. So take for example 9/11, when Bin Laden did that thing. I don't know if you know that thing. You were small. You don't really know much about it. But anyway, when they did that attack in New York, at that time George Bush was the president, and most people didn't like him. He was unpopular, to be frank, right? I think Sam can attest to this. Sam will remember this very well. And George Bush, guess what? The whole country, Republican, Democrat, everybody rallied around the president. Why? Because you were attacking the United States of America. And George Bush held that loudspeaker at the site and told the people that you guys will hear from us soon. The whole country rallied around him. You saw people in America, young people, different professionals, leaving their profession, enlisting to the army to go defend America. You know why? Because you attacked the country. So everybody went across. So what we are saying now, I think if you look across the board, look on Facebook, you will see almost all Liberians believe that Guineans are doing the wrong thing. They are not supposed to be encroaching our land. I'm not seeing any Liberian on Facebook, as far as I know, I may be wrong, that will say, yeah, that left for Guinea do the thing that Guinea do it correct. I haven't seen that. So if you notice, you'll see people, this is not time for, CDC, United Party, and everybody from the CDCians, from the United Partisans, everybody is on the same page. You'll see the ANC folks, all the folks are saying the same thing. This is the time. You will see Mr. Honorability. Everybody's saying the same thing. That's what sovereignty is. We are protecting our sovereignty. Everybody's saying the same thing. But you can't have a lawmaker come and say, with no fact, and he's even wrong to say the blame for the Guinea people and the president, because he disagreed with the president. So his frustration is going towards making. So that's what I'm saying. It's different. You will never hear an American man leaving his country under the bus when it comes to the sovereignty of it, but they will disagree on policy all day, every day. So that's different.
So you see now, I think Yeka is still right. Anyway, Yeka is still right. Yeka, in his opinion, he said from his soil, somebody told him the land is for Guinea. If we put it into context, this guy resigned. He said the war that America is fighting in Iran, it does not pose any threat to the United States. And Yeka too is saying, if this land is for Guinea, let's give it to Guinea. My source told me that, in fact, this land is for Guinea.
Which source now? Is it presenting any evidence
I don't understand. I don't know.
Is it presenting any evidence to that effect?
Yeah, the guy is not speaking with no
got no
argument.
evidence. The guy is just trying to get back to the
evidence, Chief.
Junior.
Opinion does not necessarily have to go with evidence. It's policy difference.
Junior.
So what you're saying as a lawyer or a law student, somebody just come and give you a blanket statement. Will you just go out there to convict a person? Is that what you're trying to say?
It left with me now to prove whether that statement is blanket or not. It left with the government to say.
You're just making a blanket statement. What's the evidence?
Yeah, so
if you have the proof, then you bring it.
It left with the government to say why Yeka is saying that's a lie. This is our map and this is the boundary. It left with the government to do that. It's not Yeka responsibility.
But why should we even be discussing those kind of things? Because I think the man is a stakeholder, he's a representative of the country. So he should be a policy maker and he has direct oversight over the internal
territorial boundaries.
To invite. So should we be dwelling on rumors from him? Because I feel that the statement is even reckless because he, in his capacity, look, if you look at Yeka right now, the film he had dropped drastically. So he's trying to repair what he had lost.
No, not true.
That's what happening.
The film is still very high.
So, Junior, this show, why it's true we disagree with each other to make it hard. There are some things that we need to not give credence to for the popularity of our show. When it comes to sovereignty, when it comes to statement, we should not give credence to people who made those kind of statements. And then you say now, you say you think your case is right. What is there to think about that is right? For one,
why should we, I don't even discuss those kind of things. That's why I'm not even discussing it.
In your opinion now.
No,
let me ask you now so you can continue with it. In your opinion, do you think the land belongs to Liberia? In your opinion.
Why would I even have that kind of thought? Why would I have that kind of thought that the land belongs to Guinea? Even the Zedekuri say I can say it's for Liberia.
What?
Because my goal is for Liberia to get something, not for us to give it out. That's what we call leadership. It led with them to come and debate it. But for me to sit down and say, oh, my piece of land is for another country, then maybe I must be living in Plato. I don't live on planet Earth. My everything is to Liberia. The way I was born and the way I was raised, until when people who brought us somewhere here threw the war into our country and brought us somewhere here.
They force you to come.
But at this point, I still think that my country is a great country. No matter what, people, they are immature people in leadership. It's a big disgrace and mistake to have those kind of people in our leadership today. And I said it the other day when even the chief of the representatives, the other guy, the speaker.
Oh,
the speaker went to FOIA and started breaking the power invested in me, immaturely coming. What power that I invested in him? That immaturity is some of the things we're talking about. There are some people who are not even supposed to be around national leadership. Disgracefully, we put them there. Some of them are Yeke Koluba. Again, I don't care. Yeke Kosim, Baka, Yeke Kosim, Joshua. That one, that's Liberia thing. They can tell their thing. But when it comes to Liberian sovereignty, I don't take it lightly. That comment, you can need to withdraw it. If I were in Liberia in the parliament, I would even bring a bill to submit your cat to defend. If not, we can remove it from the House of Representatives. But again, it's a sad time for our country, and we are here discussing comment from people like that. You know, the thing you're saying here in America, let's say right now, God forbid, one rocket fall down somewhere here, there will be no more Iran. The thing where you're saying that and talking about, the men said it because they don't like the way they carry out the war. But even as they disagree with the policy or carrying it, let one piece of something drop here, it hurts American in America. You know what I mean? It's a big deal for some piece of junk to come and say that the land for Guinea. He get evidence that it land for Guinea. Man, let's talk different thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for being here. Siawete, let's come to you before we take our parting comment.
On what? On Yeke?
No, we finished with Yeke. No, we're not on Yeke again.
Yeah, because
you know one thing that I like about Siawete, they like go after the opposition men about when the opposition men say anything, they can just laugh at it. See, know that they're talking about Bodneke, whom he said, and all of that, because Bodneke is supporting this government. So you never see them take on their official page to castigate Bodneke, to say any other thing to Bodneke. But because it was Yeke, and they say, oh, Yeke is in position, but Yeke is a human being, he got feelings too.
But did Bodneke say land for Guinea?
Gian.
But why are you making it at first? You guys said
my only comment here is my only frustration a little bit here is for Yeke to give our piece of land to the Guinean. But
no, Yeke didn't do so.
No. Bodneke came out and said something. Did he say the land belongs to the Guinean?
Yeke didn't say the land belongs to the Guinean.
No, I said Bodneke.
Bodneke didn't say so.
Okay. So why
And
would we?
Yakatu didn't say that. Yaka say if the land belongs to Guinea, they should take it.
No, he said you gotta
No,
sow.
it's not making new
He said
land.
you gotta sow. This sow say the land belongs to Guinea. He as a representative, he didn't verify it. He came on it.
But I don't know what John is really trying to twist here. Look, you know, I don't even want to discuss that, gentlemen. If you really look at the current composition of the government, you will see that the people are doing serious things. They're not after people like Yeke, no. If you look at the film, if you look at the film right now of Yeke Koruba, look, let me tell you one thing. Yeke cannot go back to the house. That's why he's saying he will contest for the presidency. Anyone who don't have it, who don't have
contest for what?
Presidency, yeah, he said going for the
presidency. Oh yeah, you will win. You will win. You will win. So, in Guinea border.
You know,
you see,
people like
the solution said yesterday, Yeke was not going to win the return. Yeke stay one. So see how it let that thing.
Until I mean, the first thing know that this is where I'm coming, right? Junior, look, you know, our society, the way the politics play, when you go by the tune, our people is very easy. One thing you need to understand is you can always play the mind game, going to the opposition. You know, Liberian always drive to the opposition. Whenever people win, look at the momentum Ambassador Bouaka built from 2019 to 2023. That's how you can build on the opposition till he won the election. What I'm trying to say is that whenever people wins in Liberia, half of the country tend to opposition. They will celebrate someone who was even in power as if the person had never been in position before. Right now, see when Ambassador Weah gets out, the hearing as if he had not been in power before. But when he was there a few years ago, Liberian people beat on him. So what I'm trying to say is people that Yeke, they want to create that scene where people will believe that they are making advocacy, they are talking, and Liberians are no more, being fooled like that. The first thing Yeke is not breaking up bill, he's not breaking up conversation that will benefit the Liberian people. So you think the people not tired of what he's doing? Liberians are seeing every day. Go, even what we are saying here, if you listen to the radio, to our people back home and all other platforms, people don't even listen to him. So why should I sit there and listen to Yeke, even elevate what he's saying? To me, it don't worth discussing because it's not making sense. He got the power, the legislative power, to cite whosoever that should provide information to him about the boundary or the border of Liberia between Liberia and Sierra Leone. He got all other necessary means to write, but you sit on in Oro Neclistan and say you got a source. I feel that it should not even be discussed yet. But I mean that's the conversation though. But for me, it's not. Look, anybody that play with a sovereignty, your country, it's just like the farm land you got in your home. Someone come from another farm land where you got your boundary, your people get your boundary, then they say, oh, the cocoa farm, jumping, father God. Then they come in the middle of the cocoa farm and say, for you. Your family, one member of your family come out and say, but the land say, the people say for them, that give it to them. That member of your family, God will lash at them. So that's a common example. You will not sit there for somebody to come claim your cocoa farm. Elders will be in the family will say, what the man saying, they'll go have conversation and listen to what they say. That's the role Liberia is playing right now. So for me, I don't even want to dignify people that Yeke them. I don't want to dignify them. I don't.
So let me ask you this while you give us a parting comment and we'll go to the CEO. If this situation was in the previous regime, would you have taken the same stand that you're taking today if the previous regime are following this procedure?
But I told you the issue of sovereignty is very important. Look, if you, maybe you didn't follow me when I was in advocacy. Ask anybody, even in Nima and Liberia, people who knows me, I'm very objective when it comes to this kind of situation. Even during the regime of President Weah, I used to disagree, but I didn't support people like Costa, Yeke Koruba, with those inventors they used to use on President Weah. Meaning you can call over. Because I feel that leadership, when you are in leadership, I'm from the background where, regardless of how you being elected, how people celebrate and elevate you, leadership comes from God. So once you are in that capacity, we agree on policy, we disagree on policy, but it don't give me that sense that I need to insult somebody before I lay on my point. No. So I don't. If it was the time of President Weah, we will give our point as to how he need to proceed and in correcting the wrongs that are there. I will do. I will not tell you, say, even as I'm doing now.
How you doing?
So I will not tell you. So that's all I can say.
So finally, before we take leave of you and go to the other people, in your final words.
Yeah, so what I would say is thank you. I mean, it's the show. It was a good show. We hope to be back tomorrow. And thanks to everyone. We pray that everyone will keep calm as the government engage our neighbors to resolve all of those things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. CEO, finally, give us your parting comment. After you, we go to Sam to Alvin to TK.
No, I think we go to Alvin because Alvin want to go. You want to go, Alvin? Business. So I'll turn over to Alvin. We'll keep Sam last, and then we'll have TK. I know he's nothing to what he enjoying himself. The best dancer on the whole platform. That epic game. Bob Messer dancing. Woo! Man doesn't know how to dance. But Alvin will give us a parting comment.
Alvin, are you there?
I'm here. All right. All right. I just want to thank you guys so much for the show. CEO Junior for being so controversial as always. Yeah. But the issue we were all discussing is all about the nation Liberia, and we all have our differences, and Liberia will always be our common denominator. Liberia will always be our common denominator. No matter what, wherever we are in the world, Liberia is our home. So there is no way that any leader, for that matter, will sit on national radio or television show, whatsoever it might be, to castigate Liberia if people are infringing our rights. I think it should be a call to national duty, to the allegiance of Liberia, where we all pledge to at this point, to ensure that the sovereignty of Liberia is maintained at every front. We don't expect anybody, not a single Liberian, talk less about a leader, should come on and castigate Liberia and talk down to Liberia because of any political differences. This is not about politics. This is about our sovereignty, and this is about our unity, and this is about our land. We should hold together and keep pushing for the sovereignty of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thanks for coming.
Welcome. See you.
Thank you very much. CEO, over to you now, Chief.
Yeah, so again, thanks to everyone. Thanks to Junior. Thanks to Alvin for also coming. Thanks to Junior for always being here, always speaking at his big brother, Siawete and Cyrus, doing a thing. He make a big getting under everybody's skin.
That's the beauty of the show.
The beauty of the show. So it keeps our time going. But
I can admire Gion and Cyrus. Today Cyrus is not on the other side.
Cyrus, he owed me something, so he called me yesterday for that reason too. He tried to, but Cyrus, I forgave you. You are good to go. But great show. Thanks again to Cyrus. Thanks to everyone. DK, thank you so much. I mean, we are all here. I was talking to a few of our colleagues in the back there. I was telling them we're here. We are holding the ground for the platform, and it takes a lot to be on here every day. So we are doing extremely well. I want us to say thank you to all of you. Thanks to our followers too. Great conversation. Even though when the days that we don't have something, Junior always bring these topics up for us to discuss. and we keep our platform active. One day, if we don't come on here, people reach out to us to ask, what happened and why you guys are not on there. So I want to say thanks to all of you. We pray that peace reign, and we pray that the whole Lofa thing will be resolved amicably, that people will be able to go back to their various land to start farming. But overall, nothing really much. I just want to say thanks to all of you.
Thank you so much, CEO. Just so Guinea know, the same way America get U.S. Marine, they get Marine. We got young blood women who are all Marine.
We got a DK buddy though.
So Sam, let's hear you, and then we go to DK. DK made a very good point, Sam.
I thought we'll keep saying loud now.
Okay, Sam, DK made a good point today that those guys who are speaking like you and other people, the government needs to be heard.
Thank you, Jim. Again, I know you were very little during our war. Thoroughly read history. Nobody fight in your home and succeed. Guinea is in our home. Anything we are Guinea do, we will be at the losing end. Again, any statement that a policy maker made in the country sometimes is considered a law. The statement of Representative Yeke, if the government is not taking it serious, then they will be joking, because Yeke needs to be invited by the Ministry of Justice to show his proof. Other than that, that act is treasonous. And until we challenge the law, you see, Prophet Key were all over the place. Until Prophet Key went to court, and the court ruled, he himself asked for forgiveness, but the case does not stop there. When there is, quote unquote, a growing tension and crisis in your country, leaders should know when to speak and on what subject matter they are speaking on. The issue with Young Gbagbo and Bob Nicky, the same way we call them the government to stop Yeke for saying things that will bring tension in the country. They need to tell people, to their own people too, that quote unquote support them, so that they can tune their voices down. All of them, what they're saying, they don't have solution to it. Like what is happening in Iran now, nobody's going to tell you you can't do anything to that thing. Yes, you agree. Whether from ball play, from blunt to, from tear plays, you can't do nothing to that thing that are happening in Iran now. So whether you can disappear, you can't disappear. That thing that are happening there is not easy. And so beyond what we're hearing about the Guinean government or the Russian government supporting them, the Guinean army were really restructured and heavily supported. In early 2000 to 2002, when the U.S. government gave them, I think, almost $1 billion to restructure the army. Majority of that money went to lead, but at least they used that money to restructure their army. I hear sometimes people saying, oh, they just recruit anybody. No, it will be the same militia team. That you just, because we are in crisis, you just do his state arrangement, just bring everybody. When those people are not trained, they will also intend of protecting the place, they will start harassing our own people in the region there. People don't do serious government with haste. You want to maintain the border. Don't just say, oh yeah, we'll have less. Government need to plan it better. Have the necessary budget. Whoever you need to tend to them. I just feel the Guinean guy there, I keep making reference to him. He's behaving a child stealer. And sometimes when you are power drunk, the child stealer, sometimes the ending is not usually good for you. It is my prayer that whatever way the Liberian government is using that, they should use that. If you caught lawmakers, the Richard Kuna went to that border the last time and spoke those undigested words. I say, you know what? We're taking 6 months lawmaker salary for this year, till the year end, so that we can protect the border. Nobody will be talking loosely the way they talk. And they are getting their money, like I said, because the country is peaceful, people are paying taxes. That's how they get their money. But when the country is not peaceful, nobody paying tax, they will not be getting the money they're getting to be talking loosely. So government needs to really set some boundaries. Freedom of speech is good, but when you not use it wisely, you pay for it. And my only recent example is on my brother Prophet Key. So again, thanks everybody for this show. We'll always be here. And thank you. I hope the data will always come. Thank you to everybody. See how it is. You need to call me so we can talk.
Well, I'll show you. I can do your copy, Connie. Amen.
All right, Chief. I will do.
You start
See how it you don't touch Nico now. I don't call me Vice President. The way say about it can be all his sweat. All his sweat.
Once I enter this soil, I remember Unico. I don't got to.
And see why DJs that you should call him.
Unico for everybody, or whether you when you enter America, you Unico memo. You just need to regularize your status.
So Sam told me that you will win that election. He said you will
win. Contesting.
That's not be a Unico thing. We don't
leave that thing, man.
Yeah.
Y'all go to the big brother.
We're gonna scatter our show, yo.
Sam, let's hear you. Take us home, Chief.
Well, thank you. Junior, you asked one important question to Serity, whether if it was the other way around, where he will Serity speak the way he's speaking, meaning that if our George Weah administration will Serity speak the way he's speaking. So, Junior, let me say this to you. The only reason, during the days of George Weah, when Prophet Key, Yeke, and all of those people were cursing him, I didn't say anything. My thing is, they didn't want brought the whole thing when it comes to the insult in our politics today, throwing Kiaski. They didn't want brought all the nonsense that happened in our country. The time I was in Liberia, I never seen any politician that will be cussing, like men are cara grading when they were on the radio, when CDC were marching in the principal street of Thomas Boulevard, putting women unaware in the red oil and claiming to be Ellen stuff. And then they also throwing a living president, Kasky, Joseph Baga Kasky. They brought all of those things. And they fail to realize that when you do those things, people will learn and they will do your own when you come to power. So when Prophet Key and Yekede were talking, it was a bad thing to hear in our national politics in our country. Disgracefully, but again, when you introduce something in a society, other people can pick up from that. So it was not a good thing, and I hope that one of these days, we need to the law. We need to introduce a law. People who do those things, we can bring them to justice because it's not a right thing to do. Having said that, I don't care who speaks against who in Liberia. What I think is that Liberia is for all of us. Liberia has been there, and we will leave it there. It is our country. Those who came before us, they serve And those who will come after, they will still serve. The Liberia will still be there. But nobody should sit down and say the piece of land is for another person that he had no evidence of. And he's saying that he's eating Liberian people money and talking about the piece of land is for the other people. That's a stupidity. If I were in the House of Representatives today, again, I will introduce a bill and it will go against somebody. Having said that, I just want to tell you through thank you, Junior, for being here. DK Wade, my younger brother, Data COA, the great CEO Mandana, the man who called me, and I called him back, he was making money, he answered my phone.
I'll push him an hour.
Everything we have said here and done, I believe the hope is still there. Liberia will still be there. Better days are coming. Liberians should not panic like we said. Yondenki and serve, and they're still there. So better days are coming, Liberian. Don't give up. Those of you who are listening to me from the radio land, from the mother's land, the Republic of Liberia, the green city, the most powerful city in Nimba County, Baibona. I greet you all. I want you guys to believe that there will be a time that Liberia...
but the green city.
Green city, Baibona.
That time that we all will enjoy, like we will rise and we will say, yes, after many years and decades, we Liberians, we are benefiting from our people. Our leaders will be more patriotic than they are now. Thank you for listening. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, and we'll be here same time, same everything. Thank you. See you. I might not get there with you sometime.
You're going. We're not leaving you behind.
But we will do it. Thank you.
We'll all go there together.
Thank you guys very much for being here tonight. It's been a wonderful conversation. Again, I want to close on a note. Yeke, you are right. Continue. It's been a wonderful conversation with all of you. I want to say thank you for being here. We're going to be here tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the Heat Hour program. As always, stay safe, live the life you love, and love the life you live. Have a better and a blessed night.
Good night, guys.